Today is another wonderful, beautiful day. At least where I live. Hopefully it's a wonderful, beautiful day where you are. Surely in some way, shape, or form, it really is a wonderful, beautiful day. Just go outside and look. Another reason it's a wonderful, beautiful day is you have a new episode of the Energy is Love podcast. You're welcome. We just passed our 2-year anniversary. It wasn't that big of a deal. It is a big deal, but it wasn't something that we celebrated. We had a ginormous party. You missed out. No, but it's pretty cool. 2 years for the podcast, episodes. I think this is episode 106 or 107 maybe. I don't know. Over 100 episodes of the podcast. And now if you are brand new to the Energy is Love podcast, if you just happen to stumble across us in iTunes or any number of wonderful places that you can listen to the podcast, and you have now found the Energy is Love podcast, there are enough episodes available for you to listen to one brand new episode of the podcast every week for the next 2 years. Be sure to share the show with somebody, tell somebody about the podcast, tweet about it. I don't know why you would tweet about it because we're not really active on Twitter. I'm not active on Twitter. I don't put anything on there. It drives me nuts. But Facebook, you could always share it on Facebook or Instagram, or just tell your neighbor. How about that? Tell the lady that's checking you out at the grocery store. Not checking you out. She might be checking you out. But the lady ringing up your groceries, tell her about the Energy is Love podcast. Go to our website, energyislovepodcast.com. Find all the links where you can download and listen, subscribe, share, all that jazz. Contact us through the website as well. At the end of this episode that you are about to listen to, I'll explain the episode in a minute. But I want to know what you struggle with. I want to know what mental health issues you deal with on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. So please share those with me. Send me an email. Reach out. Click the contact us button, link, tab, whatever you want to call it, on our website and tell me what you struggle with. Doing our little part in changing the dialogue and the stigma surrounding mental health. So if you're comfortable enough to share that with me and you're okay with me sharing it on the podcast, I would absolutely love to do that. So shoot me an email, craig@energyislovepodcast.com. Also, if you are interested in one-on-one coaching, that's something that I offer. That's something that I do. I work directly with men, one-on-one, helping them live better lives. It's something that I'm super passionate about. It's something that I believe in. It's something that I think is massively needed in today's world. Men are so disconnected from their hearts and from themselves and from their emotions and from their lives and their experiences and their loved ones and so on and so on and so on. So I really enjoy the opportunity in helping in that space. If you want to learn more, reach out. Send me an email. You can find out a little bit more information on the website as well. But I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to connect. I'd love to work with you. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the Refinery Barbershop. Do you ever sit back and wonder, where can I get a decent haircut or get my massive beard trimmed? Do you ever long for those days when you could go to the barbershop, sit back and relax, have some warm hot towels placed on your face, maybe a straight razor shave, clean your ugly mug up so that you look handsome and dapper? Well, the Refinery Barbershop is the place for you. They are located in Springville, Utah. You can find them online at refinerybarbershop.com or also on Facebook at the Refinery Barbershop. It harkens back to the days of the old school barbershops when you would go in and it would be more than just a haircut or a beard trim. It's really a full experience, and I highly recommend it. So go check them out. Go show them some love. If you are in the area, we've got tons of listeners across Utah. Take the trip down to Springville if you're in Utah County. Pop in and say hello, get your hair cut or get your beard trimmed, and tell them that you heard about them on the Energy is Love podcast. So, new episode, here we go. It is Steph and I once again sitting down for some coconut coffee. We actually didn't have any coffee during this episode. What happened was, it was Memorial Day. It was during a incredibly stressful weekend, just a shitty time period. But we found ourselves home without any children. We had the opportunity to kind of relax and connect with one another, and this spontaneous episode of the podcast happened. We were sitting at our kitchen table talking, having a wonderful conversation like we do on a pretty regular basis. And suddenly I was like, hey, baby, let's go outside and record this in a podcast. And she's like, hey, Craig, sounds good. So that's what we did. We impromptu threw up the equipment outside in our backyard. It's a really fun episode where we chat about a bunch of different things, but you really get some insight into specifically my spiritual journey and my spiritual path and why I am the way that I am today. For longtime listeners of the podcast, I think you'll find it pretty interesting to kind of see how the podcast has evolved and changed. And that's obviously because I have evolved and changed. So it's pretty insightful and it's fun. And I love my wife and we just have fun sitting back and recording. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well. But be sure to go follow us on Facebook, energieslovepodcast.com. You can follow me on Instagram, find some information there as well. Go do all those things that we supposedly are supposed to do in this age. And now sit back and relax. Enjoy another wonderful episode of the Energy is Love podcast. You've got some coconut coffee coming up with Steph and Craig. So here we go.
You're listening to the Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is Love.
The Energy is the Love podcast.
The Energy is Love podcast.
Energy is Love.
The Energy is Love podcast.
The podcast for the universe.
The Energy is Love podcast.
We're loud.
Do you think that sounds good?
It's loud. I'll have to talk quietly the whole time. Can you turn mine down a little bit?
No, I'm going to turn it down a little bit.
No, in my ears you can't?
Yeah, I can turn it down in your ears a little bit.
Yeah.
There you go.
If they're going to mow the lawn.
Okay. That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
I think I figured out a way to be like a super spy.
What's that?
Come out with podcast gear and just sit and be quiet. You can hear everything all over the place. Like I can pick, I'm pretty sure I just heard the neighbors like breaking batting it or planning a heist something.
Yeah.
See? Their dog's in on it.
No.
No?
No, I agree with you. You can definitely hear everything when the mics are queued up and going.
So if you just like walk around with this gear and these headphones. Oh no.
Spying on the neighbors?
Well, like, think of like where could I go with this gear and really get some good information?
What would you do?
I don't know. It depends on the information I got.
What would be the end goal?
Good information to do something with. I don't know. I could make jokes about.
About what?
I don't know. I'll quit. That was a fun little rant.
Let's explain to everybody what we're doing. Or why we suddenly decided to come out into our backyard and record an impromptu podcast. So explain to everybody, babe. Because I'm going to keep fucking with my microphone.
You're going to keep messing with that? Well, you shouldn't have hit play yet. We were inside having a discussion that you were getting all pontificating about and was like, we need to go outside and record a podcast. And I said, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
There we go. So we're doing it.
Yeah. You might be too close to the microphone.
Is it?
No.
Here, yeah.
No, you're
I feel
good.
like I'm eating it.
You're
Here.
good.
What if then I have to lean forward too much.
Yeah, get comfortable, remember?
Why?
Like, look at me right now.
I
Feet up.
got to kick my feet up?
If you want.
I kind of want them down.
Just don't kick your drink off the
I'll kick
table.
the drink off the table.
Should we let everybody know what is going on? Oh my God.
What was that? It was a raptor. We got Jurassic Park happening.
We're on the set of Jurassic Park.
Seriously, what is that?
It's a T-Rex. It's a straight up. It's a pterodactyl coming to get us. No, obviously we're sitting in our backyard, so you're going to get some
Dinosaurs?
Yeah, you're going to get some dinosaurs and some wind, but that's okay. I always like these. It's always super, super fun. Actually, make sure I'm recording. I couldn't see it.
That would have been funny.
I know. I was
Like,
just
what did we
sitting out
just
here
say?
talking to
Redo it.
ourselves.
Your spy stuff. What was that?
No, I don't know where we should start. I mean, we already started, so luckily we don't have to come up with a starting point, but...
Do you want to read? I think that was bird poop. I don't think that was a leaf. I think that was a dried
Bird
piece
poop.
of bird poop that I just took off the table.
I saw over by the tree, there's a little robin egg. You know how the eggs will fall out?
Yeah?
So we got a nest up there somewhere, but...
How would a nest keep up there with as much as Asher goes through the trees? Like, did he shake it out?
I don't know.
I can't see one.
That's okay.
Okay.
So where should we start?
I'm too busy trying to find the nest now.
Let's just have our conversation that we were having at the table. Let's repeat it verbatim, word for word.
Okay.
I asked you. Go ahead.
Are we really going to start from the beginning? No. Okay.
No, I was just reminding you.
I remember what you asked.
Well, what did I? They don't fucking know what I asked you.
You want me to say it?
Sure.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You asked if I really believed or just wanted to believe that we've been together before, in the future, now, all of the times. All of the times.
Yeah, it's an intimate part of our story.
Yes.
Now I'm sitting here thinking, fuck, I don't know if I really want to share it with the fucking people out there.
Well, then don't.
But that's okay.
No, we can have a different we can still have a conversation without all those nuts and bolts.
Yes, we can, but I think it gives it context. And I think it gives it, and honestly, it's not something that I mean, it's sacred and it's special to us, right? It holds a place of, just that. I mean, it's special. It's you and me. It's us. But I don't have a problem sharing that with people.
It's super intimate.
I think it's a beautiful thing. Don't you think?
Yes, I think, but I wasn't thinking of whether I think it's a beautiful thing. I was like, is that something we can share it?
Well,
Sure.
honesty is always the best policy.
I agree. Oh, there's the robin's egg.
Yeah, you see it over there?
I see it, not the nest though.
I hope the wind doesn't continue.
Or
Or we're going to get rained on. Or the raptors are going to come and attack
it's
us.
so loud.
That's a raptor. That's not a motorcycle. It's a raptor.
I would say more. I think it's a riding lawnmower.
It's a really fast riding lawnmower.
It's souped up.
Yeah, we have riding lawnmower races here on every weekend. That's totally a lawnmower. That's going to be super fucking annoying.
Somebody's mowing the lawn. I don't think we can do it.
No, I don't think that's a lawnmower. See, it's
A
fading.
mow lawnmower?
I don't
A what?
think-
You almost said mow lawner. You
Yeah,
almost
I don't
pulled our
think
kid.
I don't think it's a mow lawner. Okay, it's gone. Oh, fuck. There it goes. So, our specialness, right? The thing that we hold so sacred and so pure. No, at the end of the day, it's our love and it's our relationship. And through our coming together, when we first met, and how we met, and just our timing of us meeting in our spiritual journey and path, even though we don't need to label it our spiritual journey or our spiritual path or anything like that. Just our fucking life coming together. And then like countless experiences that you and I have had, both with one another as well as separate, because I know that I've had visions and insight and connections and things like that when you weren't physically present with me. But we both have had numerous of those types of things that lead us to not just like, oh, believe, and we want to put a warm, fuzzy fucking feeling in our fucking belly, but to know that we are, because it goes way past even just like, we're not meant to be together, we're not soulmates, all that shit that we, I think you were talking about that earlier today. Oh, how people label all these different things, soulmates and twin flames and all that bullshit. Like, it's just at the core of it, it's like you and I are just a part of one another that is continually spinning together in the universe. And it always has been, and it always will be, and it continues. And I can't look at you, stop looking at me, because I'm going to cry as I'm talking about it. Crying's okay.
So can I look at you?
Yeah, but it's hard to give it context in a sense that somebody out there listening is going to kind of be able to understand what we're talking about. And that's okay too, because you know, it's us, it's ours. So people obviously aren't going to be able to connect and resonate 100% with it, but when I talk about like the experiences, like we've had meditations together where we specifically are meditating together, like side by side, holding hands, meditating, and just have the most like miraculous journeys into all that cosmic fucking energy and space that exists out there, where we would see and catch glimpses of other parts of our energy and other realms and other spaces that are combined together. And we've had them like not just through meditation, but all sorts of different ways. And all of it is always in that like I don't know if it's ethereal, ephemeral, out there in the cosmic fucking space of energy that gets super lucid and untangible, but yet concrete and real. That's typically where we see all these things and experience and feel all of these things. And so it just leaves us with a knowingness of our connection and our bond. And it's beautiful.
Yes.
And we could sit and talk poetically and eloquently and not so either of those things for hours about it. But
like the ones where the times that would happen where, yes, we have these things and we see these glimpses, but where we would come out of our meditation, I guess, and where we're telling each other about it, like filling in the blanks for each other. And we've had those, we're at that time not just, oh, I saw this with you, or I saw this with you. It was we're filling in the story where we had a very similar, like we were at the same place right there. We got shown the same. What?
Do you remember the one at the sound bath?
Yes.
Is that what you were thinking of?
It's one of the ones I was thinking of. That was the first one. I think that was the first one.
Yeah, where we both journeyed on our own into the cosmic space of the unknown and the beautiful, but yet saw correlating things and connections between the two of us out there in that space.
That was the first moment that I realized that that I was seeing like energy or auras or however, because they had these paintings on the walls, and around them they had these lights around them, and I'd heard people describe like auras and stuff they'd seen in energies, but
well, not even lights, not lights like physical lights shining on a painting. The painting itself was drawn in such a way that it had representative of light around a person's head or around a person's body.
And so I never, I would just, whenever I saw that, which was quite a bit, I would say, oh, I think my eyes are being funny. I remember that's what I would think is, oh, my eyes are being funny again. And I would even rub my eyes like, oh, my eyes are being funny. I didn't realize that that's what it was, because I've heard other people describe, auras and the way they would see it. And it's not how I saw it. So it never occurred to me that that's what it was until looking at those. And it was like, oh my God, that's what I see. That's what I see. That's what my eyes are being funny.
Yeah.
So
that's what I see too.
It was neat.
Yeah.
It was really neat.
I like the ones that we have that come in conjunction with our sex or our lovemaking. Mm-hmm. Those ones are super powerful. Because we get those sometimes, right?
Yes, we do.
There's been plenty of times right at the moment of intense passion, we'll say, and suddenly I'm kind of blasted out into this fucking space where I'll see you or feel you on such a deeper level that I realize it's a connection with you outside of the present moment in the physical realm of what we're experiencing in that moment, but so much deeper into the space of what we feel and what we know. Like I said, it goes far past a belief or a thought. It's just a knowingness. So,
yes,
an experience.
Not just I believe because this sounds good. That it's tangible for us.
Yeah,
we've experienced it.
But I asked you tonight if you really believed that stuff. If you believed in our story in a sense, even though it's not our story, it's just our experience in our life. But if you believed in all of this still, or if it was something that you just kind of wanted to believe in, the fantasy, the fairy tale of it, or if you really believed in it, and you do. But that led us down a path of conversation.
Yes.
And all sorts of different stuff that I think would be fun to share with people.
You want to?
I'm happy to.
So, should I say like what I thought?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you should
shut
say
up.
what you thought.
Forget it. Podcast is over. I'm done. You're being mean. That I don't know the verbiage that I used. It was in a sense that yes, I did, but I didn't know how much of that I was able to share with you anymore, because it seemed like you would. I don't know how to say it without like sounding like you're.
It's okay.
It appeared in a sense that you didn't believe that anymore, and that you didn't. Should I wait till whatever that is?
For the raptors to run by. Oh, that's a big raptor.
Good enough.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
We don't have to pause for fucking
Well,
motorcycles or
people
lawnmowers.
pause for airplanes, so.
No, that was loud. That's a little bit different.
Is it a little
like an F-22 flying overhead is
Okay.
quite a bit different than a fucking 250cc motorcycle going down the street.
Okay. Noted. I'll quit pausing for you. I want to count myself back in though. Hold on. Okay, now to do this. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
That's one thing I was thinking too we need to do. I was thinking about that the other day where we need to do an episode. My bracelet got caught on the chair.
Are you stuck? That is awesome.
Okay, I got it.
I was trying to come help.
Anyways, we're going to get super sidetracked because we're fucking squirreling. You're
I'm gonna
okay.
need a minute.
The other thing too, I think we should let people in on the little. No,
I don't know. What are my kids listening?
I love our kids.
We're in a good mood.
Yeah,
We'll leave it at that.
go ahead.
Go ahead. You just. Okay, we're back in. It seemed like that was something that you didn't have time for anymore. You didn't really believe in it, or felt like you looked. You never said anything. You weren't like, you didn't come across judgy to me, but it just seemed like, is that sprinklers? I'm sorry. It's so loud. I don't know how. I'm not used to.
It's okay. The fact is, when people listen to this, they won't hear it as loud as we hear it.
Oh, well, that
Through
makes
the
a
magic
difference.
of podcast editing.
Yeah, you're incredible. Okay.
So yeah, long story short, it seemed like I
got
didn't.
distracted with noises. I'm
I
sorry.
know. It seemed like I didn't necessarily have the belief necessarily anymore, that it was a passing fad for me, in a sense where,
You didn't have
right.
patience for it anymore.
Yeah, I just didn't have patience for it anymore because it's such bullshit. And so even my wife thought that. Even my beautiful wife, even my amazing Stephanie, thought that in some way, shape, or form. And I've thought that too. Do you know what I mean?
But you explained it, and you left me just sitting there wide-eyed and completely enthralled and loving everything about what you said. So you should share that. It was beautiful. It made me way happy.
I'm totally feeling the effects.
Are you?
Yeah, it's so nice. I'm getting some colors.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it green?
Yes.
Because we're outside in grass and trees.
We're surrounded by green.
I see green everywhere.
No, it's more dumbass. I can see it.
See, I don't know why I thought he would be judgy.
So, oh fuck. We keep getting squirreled.
I know, I gotta.
Do you gotta pee?
Already, I'm so sorry.
It's
I don't know why.
Go pee.
Do you want to squirrel it out while I run?
I will.
Okay.
I'll sit here and talk.
I'm gonna listen. Well,
Why you pee? I don't think you are gonna listen. I'll wait and light a smoke when you get back. No, I don't need anything. Are you sure? Yeah. Okay. This will be fun for her to listen in on. I always like it. I've got a handful of episodes in the past with Sean McCormick. He did it. I don't think anybody else has really done it, but undoubtedly I have to piss during a fucking podcast episode, and a lot of times I'll just edit that portion out when I go back and record them or edit them. And when I would take those breaks during the episodes with McCormick, he would sit and continue to talk and say some, at times, funny things and some good things and some beneficial things. And he would just sit there and ramble on and basically take up dead air. And I left those in because it was fun. So this will be a fun one for Steph to listen to, because she'll have no idea what the hell I shared or explained or expressed during this time period while she was pissing. So she'll get to listen in on it. But I don't know what else to share because I just explained what I'm doing in this moment. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing in this moment. This is why I don't do a solo cast. I don't know if you guys realize, the listeners out there, but there's a lot of podcasting out there where it's just one guy sitting in front of a fucking microphone talking to himself, sharing his own thoughts and ideas. And I think it's beautiful, and I think it's wonderful for the people that can do it. And I think sometimes they're really, really beneficial. And other times they're incredibly nonsensical. But this is why I don't do it, because I wouldn't be able to sit for any extended period of time talking to myself about shit. And I just don't think it's that entertaining or thought-provoking.
I'm so excited to hear all
back.
of that.
Yeah.
That was cute. You were totally talking to yourself.
That was cute. I totally outed us.
I heard you. What?
I outed us completely.
Oh, did you really?
No.
You did, didn't you?
No, not really.
No, you totally did.
I'm pretty sure people listening up to this point realize that we may be under the influence of something. It's pretty
Love.
obvious.
Energy is Love podcast.
Don't make fun of the
I'm not.
intro.
I love it. I wasn't.
So, yeah, I've questioned my connection to the universe and spirituality. And the fact is, I don't have a very practical practice of energy work or a spiritual practice in the sense that I used to, where... Don't get squirreled by the fucking noise, dear.
I didn't even say anything. I just looked.
Stay right
You
here.
were talking.
So yeah, I used to meditate on a regular basis. I used to have crystals that I carried in my pockets everywhere that I went. I used to have necklaces with stones that I would wear every single day. You're getting frowny face because it's breaking your heart that I don't do these things anymore.
No, I just... No.
You just what? Tell me.
See, that's why I feel like I was worried you'd be judgy, because
you still wear those
do.
things? Yeah. No, I don't judge you for it at all.
But I don't like walk out with them like draping off of me for the world to see. I usually tuck them in my shirt. And...
Yeah, you don't have to hide it either. You especially don't have to fucking hide it from your husband.
I'm not hiding it. It's just not... I don't wear them, so everybody else can see.
Yeah,
you know, it's not
that's
like,
true.
Here's my accessories for the day.
Yeah.
You know,
But that's a very practical thing and a good thing, even in the context of what we're talking about, because I used to wear all of those things, and I used to have all of those things, and I wouldn't go anywhere unless I had. Usually, it was one specific one in the left pocket, and one specific one in the right pocket, and they had a specific pocket. I had one that was specific to the left side of my body, and one that was specific to the right side of my body. And same thing, you know, I have a handful of necklaces that I would kind of rotate through, but they all would be worn for extended periods of time because they all kept me connected in a sense and had a meaning and a feeling behind them. And I don't really do any of that anymore. I don't wear any of that anymore, and I don't carry any of that anymore. And part of it makes me sad if I sit and dwell on it and think about it. But I think it's very much the reason why, you know, I gave you. I think it's very much the explanation why I don't do that anymore. But that's a good example of like the very practical outward practice of spirituality and being connected that I used to have, where I would practice things like that, or I would meditate, or I would have a much more practical practice of connection to the universe. And I mean, you know, that's manifested in so many different ways. And the fact is, I don't really have a lot of that anymore. I don't really practice any of that anymore. And I used to sit and dwell on, like, why am I not? Or does that mean that I don't believe it anymore? Or does that mean that, what does that mean really? Like I fucking host a podcast that at the end of the day is called the Energy is Love Podcast, the podcast for the universe. And its original conception and focus of it was spirituality and spreading love and light and all this wonderful energy out into the cosmos and into the universe. And yet now I don't have crystals that I wear around my neck or all these things that made me question my my truth and my validity, in the sense of, judging myself first and foremost, but then also thinking about how other people would judge me and view me in different ways. And then just a short time ago, when we were inside talking, which led us up to this point now outside talking, I don't think I had ever really articulated it. Like I told you, I don't think I had articulated it or really thought about it in this sense. But the reason why I don't have those things anymore, the reason why I don't practice those things, is because I don't feel I need to. I feel like I think a lot of times I'm just going to speak about myself, because I think sometimes I get caught up on my soapbox and going off on my ideas and thoughts about people, when in reality, I definitely get judgy at times. And from my own personal experience, I don't feel that I need those things anymore, because there was a big chunk of my life and my path and my journey into my belief system and my knowingness of the universe and things like that. When I was searching for answers. You're fucking getting squirreled by shiny objects. What is it?
I'm not going to say it right now.
Why?
Looks like there's this... Because it'll sound freaking crazy. And you were doing good stuff. I just saw something, whatever, move
by
past
the tree?
it.
Literally just a few seconds ago,
yes.
right? I caught it out of the corner of my eye.
Uh-huh.
So it's okay. It's okay. It was out of the corner of my right eye. And I immediately chalked it up to humanness and being like, I got some shit in my eye. I got some moisture in my eye. I'm like, no, you don't. You're just fucking seeing beautiful things that exist everywhere, all the time. Anyways, I don't need any of those practices anymore, because I'm not searching. I'm not searching for a belief system. I'm not searching for answers. I found it. And I have a knowingness. And I have a connection. And I have confidence and trust. And just like it goes to the same thing of us. It's the knowingness. I don't question it. I have it. So I don't need to wear a crystal around my neck or carry, some obsidian in my pocket. I didn't carry obsidian though. But I don't need to carry those things around with me on a daily basis as reminders, because I have it. I don't question it anymore. I don't need to be reminded that I'm connected to the universe. I know I am. I don't need to be reminded that energy is in fact love. I don't need that reminder. I know it. So that's why I don't have a lot of those practices anymore in the day-to-day sense, in the practical sense, Do I still like meditating? Yes, I do. Do I practice it as much as I should? Well, who's to say should, right? Do I practice it as much as I would like to? I don't. But I do practice it still, and I practice it in other ways than I used to. Because as always, we've always talked about meditation, that it is a practice, and it comes in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be a seated position underneath a willow tree with, obsidian or labradorite or lapis. I'm a big fan of lapis. I don't need a crystal grid on my head or on my face or surrounded by, rose quartz and grounding stones to meditate. I can do it without those things in different ways. And so my spiritual practice, I feel, is still present and still a very big part of who I am, but it has evolved along with my evolution, and I'm not searching for answers anymore. I don't need to know the big question of why we're here and what the purpose of this life and this experience is, and why I see 11:11 on the fucking clock, or why my ears ring. You remember how big of a fucking question that was for so long? Why do my ears ring? Why are my ears ringing all the time? I don't need to have those answers anymore. And it's not that I've just given up on the fact that I'll never have the answers to that. No, I know now. I'm not searching anymore for the answers. I have them. And I have complete peace and confidence and knowledge in that thing.
Yeah, that's where I got all bright-eyed and just watching and super happy.
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
I don't use crystals because I'm searching for something.
Yeah.
Or because I want people to see that I'm super enlightened.
That's why I said it was about me.
I know, but I'm getting to it. Mm-hmm. So
this is all about me.
It is your podcast. I don't wear necklaces every day, but I carry crystals with me everywhere I go. And if there's something that I think I'm moving into that's going to be particularly hard, I'll wear a certain necklace that calls for that. I'll wear something that I can feel close to my heart. Under my table, I have, under my massage table, I have a whole grid of crystals. But it's not that the client walks in and sees these crystals and
you don't point out to them.
No, they don't see it. I like how it feels. I like the feel of them. I've always liked the feel of them. Before I knew they were a thing, I was collecting rocks as a kid, and my parents will tease and tell stories about coming home with backpacks full that I can't even carry coming off the school bus. So do you, you don't need them to meditate, but is there any part where you grab them that you still just
I still love them.
Feel?
I still love them. I mean, look at, you know what the side of my bed looks like. You know what our bed that we sleep in.
Apparently it's just your bed. It's going to be tonight. You keep that up.
On my side, you still look and see what's over there. And I still have all of my rocks out there. Do you know what I mean? And I still look at them and I still feel them and I still feel a connection to them. And every now and then I'll pick one up. Every now and then I'll grab one. It wasn't that long ago, meaning like a year or, 2 years ago. It was recently in the last couple of months where I grabbed the stone that I've had the longest.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a stone that I grabbed, or I found this stone at the ocean when I was probably 9 or 10. And I've had it ever since. And back then when I found it, it had no correlation or connection with the universe or energy, or it was a piece of obsidian, or, this is clearly lapis that needs to go on my third eye. It was just a fucking stone that I really, really liked and felt really, really good. And I used to lay in bed at night when I was a kid, and I would place it on my forehead. And that's long before I knew anything about anything, right? But obviously I knew some importance and some significance to it. But anyways, I grabbed that not long ago and slept with it in my hand. And because I needed it in that moment. So it's not that I feel like I've ascended to another level of spirituality, because that's the other thing we joked about, where it's like, this isn't coming from a place of judgment in any way, shape, or form, that somehow I have the answers now and I have ascended to the 10th level of spirituality, and I no longer I don't need stones anymore, because I am at such a high vibrational frequency that there's no crystal or stone out there that can match me. So if you'd like, you can lay your stones at my feet and I will raise their vibration to the same vibration that I'm at. It has nothing to do with that. It simply just has to do with the fact that I'm not searching for those answers anymore. And I used those things as tools to help me along my path and my journey towards the place that I'm at now. But that doesn't mean that I discredit them in any way, shape, or form. I haven't thrown them out. I haven't rid my life of all of these things. I might not wear crystals or jewelry or stones, but I still wear jewelry that has significance and meaning to me. The stuff that I carry around my body and around my neck and around my wrists and around my ankles has energy to it that has meaning to me. The one that I have on my left ankle I don't know if you realize this. I don't know if I've ever told you this. But that reminds me of the dogs. And that's why I wear that one all the time. And I don't know why it reminds me of them. It wasn't like they're a part of one of their harnesses or, you know, the rope that I use to lead them or anything like that. It doesn't have any physical connection or correlation with them, but that just reminds me of them. And so that's why I wear that one all the time. The ones that I wear here on my left wrist, my stupid Batman, I have a, like, this is so not spiritual. It's so not evolved or enlightened. What are these kind of bracelets called?
I have no idea.
What the
plastic, rubbery, like the statements. I don't know. It shows your causes, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know what the material of these are.
Rubber?
We are so fucking high right now.
Shut up. Don't hear you.
Anyways, those plastic rubbery polyurethane, even though that's not it, bracelets that people will put shit on. I had these made a long time ago. Go ahead.
I thought you found those. You designed those?
You thought I found these?
Oh my God, you never told me? We were still dating. Oh my God. I thought it was like, what did you...
You thought I found these?
Yeah, well, you were... I think that's how you portrayed them.
These.
You didn't say, I designed these.
I ordered these. I designed
you did
these
say you ordered them, but you made it sound like you came across this website that... Oh my God.
They're cool.
They're way cool. They're so much cooler now.
You're so much more of a dork. Anyways, I should take a picture of it. I haven't taken a picture of it to post for a long time, but it's black. And on one side it says WWBD. And on the other side it says Dark Knight. And so obviously it's what would Batman do? And it's got a couple of bat and symbols and insignias on it as well. And so I made these because I have an affinity and a love for Batman. And it was cool at the time that I made them. It is still cool.
I love Batman. Did before you.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know before you, but before I met you.
But the reason I still wear it
yes,
is because it reminds me of my brothers. And I've given my brothers each one of these. And I also gave one to my dad. But that's why I still wear it. And it's also a good reminder every now and then I laugh inside of my head and joke about to myself, what would Batman do? You know, and then I laugh and joke. I'm like, well, Batman's obviously a fictional character, but even though in my head he's not a fictional character, he's a real thing. Did you see the thing I posted the other day where it was, it's just when I was in Arizona this last weekend, and it was at the coffee, like the coffee stand for the hotel, right?
Yeah. Morning
breakfast, and they got their coffee set up, and they had one of the like chalkboard drawing things on the backside. Did you see it?
I did.
I loved it. I loved it.
They didn't not have
they'll
seen
have
it.
to go to my Instagram page to see it.
Well, there you go, people.
Yeah.
You know where to go.
But, so I'll think about that sometimes. What would Batman do? And it's a fun reminder. But then the other one that I wear on that wrist is, it's for you, Steph. That thing reminds me of you. It has significance and correlation to you. And that's why I continually, I don't take it off. None of these ever really come off. Every now and then, I take them off when I give you massages, so that I can pretend like I'm a massage therapist like you and use my arms and my elbows.
You do great.
And then I'll take them off when I roll, on the off chance that I'll do jujitsu, so that people have an easier job getting wrist control. And but that's the only time that I take these things off, other than the one on my ankle. And the only reason that one doesn't come off is because it won't come off. It was cut to size around my big fucking ankle, and I can't get it off unless I cut it off. I used to worry when I started traveling that, like, I'm going to come across that fucking TSA fucker at some point that's like, oh, you're going to need to take that off. We can't let you through. We have to, blah, blah, because I fucking hate TSA. So I used to worry that they were going to make me cut it off, because literally I have no other way of getting it off my body. It won't fit down around my ankle. And so I used to worry about that, but luckily they don't even fucking I just wave my badge, my frequent flyer badge, and I breeze right through security now, so don't worry about it.
Maybe you can pull like the situation I had with my necklace that when I went to take the Emblex.
Yes.
And just get it stuck like across your forehead and be like, oh, I'm not coming off. And they wave you through with your sippy cup. They're like, oh, you're okay. I'll just let your proctor know you're a weird person.
The one around my neck, that one really has spiritual connection as well, because I started wearing that at the same time periods that I was wearing those other necklaces that I really liked. And what I like about all of this jewelry, it's called jewelry, I guess you could label it jewelry, but you don't have to take it off. It can get wet. It can get dirty. It can get, I don't ever have to worry about it breaking. Those other necklaces and jewelry and wire wrapped stones and things like that, you're always kind of worried a little bit in the back of your mind that it was going to deteriorate, or that you were going to lose it, or that it was going to fall off, and these I don't ever worry about these breaking or falling off or deteriorating. And so I guess I do still have jewelry that I adorn my body with that reminds me of my spiritual connection, because it very much does. It just isn't in the typical form or fashion of rose quartz or lapis. I fucking like lapis. I like the blue ones. Give me some lapis and some labradorite and I'm a happy camper.
Cool.
What was your question?
You answered it beautifully. Do you like the way that they feel? Don't you still like the way that they feel? And you went off on that to say, yes, very much. See, the way you just answered that question, I just want to bring a little awareness to something.
Okay.
The way you answered that question, was that a yes or no answer that you gave?
You don't want to start this.
I'm going to start it.
You don't want to go down this path.
Was that a yes or no answer that you gave?
You didn't ask me a yes or no question.
Yes, I did.
You asked me a question that was designed in such a way to be extrapolated upon. Mm-hmm. You asked me a leading question.
The way you ask me questions and get mad when I don't give you a yes or no. Yep, nope, same thing.
Not even close. Raptors are coming to come fucking attack you now.
It's not coming from me.
Yeah, it is. It's the big velociraptor.
This is what Batman would do. He's going to come up like, oh my God.
Holy shit. It's coming.
What the hell was
It's the hybrid velociraptor.
That kind of scares me.
Where is it?
What is that?
Like, it totally sounds like we're in a fucking jungle.
It does. It sounds like a roar.
Kids are running.
What the hell? It's starting to freak me out. It sounds like a roar. Do you know what it is?
It's somebody fucking around with their four-wheeler.
Well, I hear that, a very clear four-wheeler, but that sounds like a...
Yeah.
It's not doing the same, like...
No, it's dumb shit over there in the cul-de-sac that pulls his shit out and fires his shit up.
Oh my God, it totally didn't sound like that.
Well, it's because we're fucking high, babe.
No, we're not. I'm not.
Anymore.
At all. Ever.
So,
that was starting to freak me out.
That's okay. I think it's really important, at least for me, because at the end of the day, when we record these episodes of the podcast, right? I mean, it's evolved in such a way, but I have found and realized what are you doing?
I was trying to get it lit.
I realized the importance of leaving people with something, right? Leaving people with a thought, with an idea, something that they walk away with at the end of the day that, we can inception them with.
Is the podcast over?
No, the podcast isn't over. I'm not saying the podcast is coming to an end.
No, I don't. I mean this podcast.
No, I was...
Here's something to leave you with. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay. What I was saying, I think it's really important. I want to make a point to express that what I just got done sharing, however many minutes ago it was, about my spiritual practice and how I no longer am searching for answers and I have the answers. That's me. Mm-hmm. Those are my answers. That's what keeps me, that's what gives me my warm, fuzzy feeling, is the knowingness that I have for me. And I think everybody out there can find that. And it's going to undoubtedly look different than what it means for me. Energy is love may not be the answer for you. And that's 100% okay. It doesn't matter. And you don't even really have to search for the answer. If you're one of those people that isn't enlightened, that hasn't woke yet, that's fine too. There's nothing wrong with searching or not searching for answers to life's big questions. But I don't search anymore. You know, like, I just have made peace with so much of it. But that's for me. Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy?
I'm not. I'm careful not to say anything. You're giving me a hard time. Just kidding.
But I want people to realize that, you know, whatever you're searching for, whatever you're looking for, that's totally fine. Everything is a circle. We're all on a journey and a path, both together and alone, singular and combined all at the same time in the big fucking beautiful spin of everything that's happening. And whatever you're spinning towards or away or across or intersecting with at this exact moment in time, it's all good. That's all fine. For me, it just boils down to love. And that's the answer that resonates the most with me, to the point of complete and utter knowingness. But for you, it may be something different. Bum, bum, bum. Did you want to add anything to that, babe?
Oh, no, I don't want to sound not enlightened enough. I'm just kidding.
You're totally
I'm just kidding.
enlightened
I'm
enough.
just kidding. What?
I said you're totally enlightened enough.
I thought you said enlightened in love. That's pretty too.
I have blessed you with enlightened love. I got you some enlightened love earlier. Shut up.
What? Okay. So I got one for you.
Okay.
It's not about crystals or practice. It's one that we were kind of also dealing with earlier. How do you distinguish the difference between intuition and fear?
Yeah, that's been a big topic of conversation for us the last few days.
Yes.
It's been something that's super present for you, what, for the past 38 years?
Guess what look I'm giving them now?
Guess what, motherfucker? I got your intuition right here.
Your little fear creeping in there?
I think that, boy, how do you discern between intuition and fear?
Well, how do you? Because like the one we had, just to be specific, earlier today, I was scared of the kids going and doing something.
Yeah.
I felt very
Okay.
uncomfortable with it. I was scared. They were going to go riding up the canyon on a side-by-side rhino. What are they called? Ranger things? I think I've painted enough names that people know what we're talking about.
Velociraptor.
What?
They were going to go right up the canyon on a raptor.
And we had all these you had this big conversation with Asher for me about safety and helmets and...
Don't fucking lie to your dad.
And I was having one with Stevie, and in the middle of that, because you were telling me make a decision. Can they go? Can they not? And I was like, I don't want them to not have fun, but I don't want them to have fun that lasts once. You know, I don't want them to get hurt. So is it intuition that I didn't want them to go up there, or was it fear that I'm just holding them back, not wanting them to? Because, oh my God, what if something happens?
Yeah.
And so we made the decision to let them go. And as I was talking to Stevie after you had the conversation with Asher, during that conversation, she got a call from the people she was going up there with. They'd just been in an accident and they got taken by ambulance. One has a broken arm, the other one possible
Everybody's
broken
okay.
other part. Yeah, they're okay. But then I'm like, it was intuition. It was intuition. I should have, you know.
It was very much intuition.
So because intuition and fear, when you get that sense, like, it's hard to tell them apart.
When it comes to negative things.
Okay, yeah. So when it comes to negative things, there was one the other day that I won't elaborate on that was intuition that I should have listened to and I didn't.
Yes.
And then there's times that it's fear.
So for you specifically, and it probably transfers over to people in general.
It's just me. I'm the crazy one.
But we can only speak to our own experiences,
True.
right? I'm no fucking spiritual teacher. You know, I'm not here to enlighten the masses. If you want to join our cult, please fill out the waiver and then send us you need to send us $6,666.66. because we're so into numerology
You
in
could have
our
made it
cult.
8s.
68 cents. You're right. 8 would be better because 6s make it sound so fucking dangerous. But yeah, if you want to join our cult, it's only $888, and you can send that to us via PayPal.
There you go.
There's a link on the website. Vimo. That's a video streaming.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like a money thing.
No.
Okay, I'm not techie. I'm sorry. Forget the Vimo. No Vimo.
Anyways, God, we got fucking squirreled again. Oh, so intuition and fear. I think it's really common for people to get stuck in the difference between, are they trusting their gut or are they just afraid? But on the flip side, we typically don't even acknowledge when those things happen in the positive aspects, right?
Oh, I do.
I know you do. But you trust that so easily.
Okay.
You trust it so easily when it's positive. When you have the alignment of the universe coming in and connecting with your sacral chakra or your solar plexus or your heart or your fucking third eye or whatever we want to use. You trust that connection and that knowingness when it's something positive, and yet you question it when it's something negative. So the fear part is definitely human-based. The fear part is definitely our fear. I mean, it's straight up a human fear itself is something that has kept us alive for millennia. You know, the reason that we have survived and evolved as humans is our fear. So we have to learn to trust it.
Yeah, but
we have to learn to follow it, and we have to learn to know when it's based in reality or when it's based in just our fear.
yeah, but you should also do things that scare you.
Yes.
Like I said before, fear is fuel.
So
Fear is fire. So
we'll
what's
use-
the safety difference?
So for me at the end of the day, and you're not going to like this answer.
Oh boy.
This is really, really hard, and I know you're not going to like this answer. But at the end of the day, specifically with our children, going up to the canyon, running the risk of possibly getting into an accident on a side-by-side and getting injured or worse, I was willing to let that happen.
What? Now, how am I supposed to trust you when I go for your input? Why would you be willing to let that happen?
Because
I'm
it's
not willing
their
to let
journey
that-
and it's their path.
Okay, but if I can,
And I can't control it.
I know, but as parents, our jobs
Is
are
to protect and save them.
Exactly.
But each individual person that exists on this planet is on their own specific path. And each individual person is always right where they are supposed to be at every given moment. These are things that I believe. These are things that I know.
I know, but at the same
So a
point,
decision
if
that I
you don't
make-
deliver them to it.
You're right. I
and
don't.
say
Because
here's
it's
about
not my decision, dear. My decision is, in the moment, should we let our kids go do something that they're going to have fun in and they're going to enjoy? Or do we keep them home and get the attitude in them getting pissed off and getting frustrated and fighting with us and throwing fits and, fine, you're not going to let me do anything then. I'm going to go up to my room and slam my door and, oh, that's stupid. Why can't I do that? That's stupid. Oh, so yeah, in the moment, for me, that's what it's about, the moment. And in that moment, yeah, I want my kids to go have fun. And I'm not going to worry about the potential risks.
Well, in the moment, I'm glad our kids aren't the ones that are broken.
I am too.
And I
Very,
hope
very
the other
glad.
ones heal fast.
Because I
but,
believe that everyone is always on their own path, dear. We let them go still in a car by themselves to drive up the canyon, a different canyon. But we let them go to, see the grandparents at the top of the mountain. And we said, I love you and bye. And they could have just as easily.
I don't even finish it. Just don't. Just don't.
But that's the reality of it.
I know it's
And
the
so you
reality
have to make
of it.
peace with the fact that the cosmic spin of the universe is always
Okay.
going to put people exactly where they're supposed to be.
I understand that. Here's the difference. Them going over a different canyon, I didn't
Yes.
have that same twisting in my stomach of
Exactly.
something's up.
I don't know if I answered your question, but there you go. How do you discern between intuition and fear? The fact is, you can't let fear rule your life. And there's times, there's really subtle times where I think about this all the time, dear, when I fly. Sometimes I think
I'm not going to like this one either.
you're
am
not
I?
going to like this one either. But sometimes I question my connection to the universe, and am I going to know when I shouldn't get on a flight? Right? In the past 2 years, I've flown all over the fucking country and all over the place, and how many fucking airports and airplanes and things like that. And none of them have crashed. Even the ones that I got delayed or, had to change flights or How many times have I been out on an install and had to move the trip back 3 days? You know, the original flight that I had to come home, that plane didn't crash.
Yeah, but I think about it too that plane didn't. Thank you. I'm so glad.
Would my energy on that plane in that moment have made it crash?
Would that, or maybe it was that stretch of road that you were going to be on that moment to the airport that was like, you can't be on this road right now.
Yeah.
Or, oops, I took a wrong turn. And then you think, like, how many times have we been delayed for something and thought, this is terrible, and come across, there's an accident that would have put us there. So, yeah, that specific didn't happen, but it doesn't mean that some thing didn't steer you in a different direction.
So I don't really have a ton of fear around those things anymore. And I don't, I don't get fearful of those things anymore. So if I have an intuition or a connection or something that lights up inside of me and makes me wonder, is this fear or is this intuition? Do I need to trust this feeling and go this direction, or do I not? Because I'm just really afraid or I'm really fearful. I don't struggle in that space. And it's not because I'm so fucking enlightened. It's just simply I don't struggle in that space. I don't fear those things anymore. I don't fear the loss of our children.
Okay. Well, good, but...
I don't fear the loss of you. I don't fear the death of myself. Because I don't end.
Well...
Our children won't end.
I understand that.
If our kids die, they're still going to be connected to me.
I'm not going to be able to finish this podcast with you.
I know. It sucks, doesn't it?
Enough.
It's fucking hard. But for me, that's the knowingness there.
Okay, well, good. But I know that I want them to live a very long, happy, healthy life. Very, very long, old,
and they
happy
are.
On this planet. I don't want to deliver them to situations that are going to prevent that or make their life harder.
Okay, so we should change the subject because we can definitely go off on this for a very long time and debate and articulate. You did spit, but that's okay.
It was a defiant spit.
Why you're like backing away from the microphone? Like
I'm backing away from the conversation.
You should see it. I want to record your body language right now because it's so obvious. Shaking. But I struggle with it though.
I'm not asking you any more questions.
That's a practice, Steph. It really
I don't want
is.
to practice that.
I think about that all the time with Gwen and Maddie. I hate the fucking fact that I don't have them under my thumb. Not in a controlling factor, not in a listen to everything that I fucking do or say, shut up, but in the sense that I can't protect them. You know, I can't protect you. I can't protect the people that I love. I can't keep them safe really at the end of the day. At some point you have to let them go. But the ability to do so and the peace of mind for me is just the knowingness that, well, that's okay. Yeah, it's going to be fucking horrible.
No, it's not going to be horrible because it's you go ahead and think you can't, but I can and I will.
Yeah, and you do.
Locked in the basement from now on.
Well, how often do we tell like any of them? I tell Maddie all the time that like I'm always there.
Yeah,
I'm always connected to her. Like it's not a matter of call me up on the phone or shoot me a text or like. If you are going through something, Miha, regardless of what it is, and it's not even if you're going through something, literally, your dad is walking next to you all the time, everywhere you go. Yeah. And that doesn't change. My physical body right now is sitting at this table with you, but my ethereal, my astral body is a bunch of other places. Because that's the power of love. That's power. Huey Lewis in the News got it right.
Okay.
So that's for me how I discern between intuition and fear. You just don't have fear anymore. Everything's a knowingness.
I'm gonna give you a little fear tonight.
I still get afraid though. I still like fucking with fear. Taunt? Why are you like afraid to speak?
I don't know, because this conversation was a lot. Like I didn't expect it to go there. I didn't expect those things to come out of your mouth. So I guess I'm backing away from it.
It's hard. I don't like it. I don't like facing the idea that the people that I love and care about are going to die someday.
I don't.
Or that I may. It sucks. Nobody wants to face those things. But unfortunately, in the world that we live in this current matrix, it's pretty much,
I know it's a given.
a definitive.
I understand all of that, and I believe this is going on. It does not mean that that is something that I just accept when it comes to our children. And what will be, will be.
Mm-hmm.
No. Like, I do the terrible thing of the mother's right of guilting our kids into being safe. Like, I will pull out all the stops. No, if something happens to you, I'm not okay. I will not be okay. So you need to make good decisions. Be safe. Wear your seatbelt. If something feels wrong, don't do it. If you think it's okay, just think of like, I will be destroyed. So I'm not above that, and I won't stop that.
Oh, I don't think there's
anything. I will
anything.
guilt them into being safe.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And the fact is, intuition is a very real thing. Like that thing that you just got done saying, like, trust your gut. If something doesn't feel right, then you need to get out of that experience. You need to shift or change or move, or literally get the fuck up and move and get out of that experience. That's very much a real thing. So it's not me sitting up in this place of, I don't have fear anymore, and I have accepted that death is just a reality for all of us. It sucks, and I don't want anybody to die. I don't wish death upon any one of our children or anyone of this fucking universe, planet. I don't want people to go through that experience. But it happens. And like, trusting your intuition is a very real thing. So you do have to learn to trust it. And you do have to learn between the difference between, am I really being afraid? Like I said, I like to fuck with fear still, right? I'll wake up at night sometimes and I'll scare myself. I'll wake up and I'll go to the bathroom. This happens all the time. I get up and I go to the bathroom, and then as I'm coming back to bed, out of my right eye, because that's the eye that's facing our open door out into our living room, I will look and I will see something, and something will catch, and I'll sit there and be like, I know it's the curtain. I know it's the curtain. Like I know it's the curtain. Okay. There's not a question in my mind that it's the curtain, but it's dark and there's shadows and I feel stuff. And I'm like, what is it? That's something else, right? Something else is there. So I like fucking with myself, and I like fucking with fear, because I think that for me is a spiritual practice.
Okay.
Right? That for me is a reminder of the knowingness that everything is good and that there is nothing bad. We don't have a ghost in our living room. We don't have a portal to another evil dimension. We don't have aliens that are, in our living room. All of it is love.
But we got some love going on in our house.
Yes, we have massive amounts of energy that takes place in our house. And you and I go back and forth with this too in this conversation, because it happens all the time, where we both will feel things. You'll feel things stronger at times than I do. Sometimes I do. But I don't ever fear any of it, because it's all good. But I like fucking with it. And that's probably my spiritual practice, to remind myself that it's all good.
Maybe. I don't know. I have two different directions to go on. So I want to go back to the intuition and fear, but because we're on this tangent, so just remind me, because you'll remember and I'll forget.
I don't know if I'll remember any of this.
I'm going to write it down then.
Go ahead.
I have those where I do believe, I know it's good. And there's times that it won't be till later on. Then I'm like, okay, it was good. What did I miss? What experience was that? Was they trying to tell me something? Because there's times when it happens, and if it's a physical sensation, not just the who, but like when you can feel something very...
You don't like it when they touch you.
I don't like it. And afterwards, I can look at it differently and be okay with it. But in the moment, it is like, I am 2 years old climbing up the wall, just knock it off. But when they mess with our kids in the middle of the night, and where you don't want me to go through and like sage and bring out the stones, and I am pissed. I'm like, oh, you got to go. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're family. Out. You're out. You're not going to sit there and scare my child to where he's literally climbing up the wall. And like, don't. You can't do that in the middle of the night. I don't care if you're love. At that point, you're worn out. You're welcome. You need to get out. And that's my take on it. And then I do stuff and then he sleeps.
Yes, but they're
And
there
your
for a
mom
reason.
also does stuff. And she brings these cool, big, amazing, huge dream catchers. And so like, I'm glad that she's with me on that. And like,
Yeah.
well, kids need to sleep at night. You cannot come and mess with them in the middle of the night. It's not okay.
But for me, the belief that everything is good and everything stems from love, and not stems from, meaning that like love is the source that everything comes from, and then eventually things will evolve differently and sometimes spin off into fucking chaos and into badness. No, everything is the same. Everything is love. Everything is the exact fucking same. And so there is no need to fear the dark side. There is no need to fear the entity that may be present. And it very well may be a fucking entity, but there's no reason to fear it.
Unless there's something dangerous in the house that our kids need to be waking up for to leave, don't wake them up in the middle of the night.
Okay, so then what other purpose would they be serving?
Well, I don't know.
You're right. I don't either.
And I don't.
And we aren't supposed to know. But I'm fucking glad they're there. Right?
I don't like it when they're scared.
So then and we've had this conversation. So then the point is addressing the fear, right? And explaining that it is all good and helping them cope and manage with the fear.
Agreed.
And acceptance of it. Because we are continually surrounded by the energy of what we would classically, typically label in a small-minded way in order to make it fit inside a box. We are surrounded with positive and negative energy. And we are constantly surrounded by good things and bad things. And they're constantly around us. And they're there for a reason. And we don't have to understand why they're there, right? The loved ones, our ancestors are around us all the time. Everybody likes to stay in that fucking space. You know, my 16 past life spiritual teachers are with me at all times, right? Everybody likes to stay in that space. Yeah, they are. They're very much with you. And they're there for a reason. And they're serving a purpose. And at times you get correlation and connection to understand a portion of their purpose. And then at other times, you don't fucking know. Think about how much shit we do for our kids that they don't fucking know.
No.
Even on just the basic level, like the boy has no fucking concept of the water that comes out of the tap. And the fact that we pay for that. Right?
You're welcome.
He doesn't realize that he gets the opportunity to go downstairs and turn on the light in his room because we pay for that.
Is this a grateful moment?
Well, no.
Are you calling them ingrates?
It's just an example of how oblivious children are to everything that their parents do for them.
So maybe there was a reason that I'm just not aware of.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
So we have energy surrounding us all the time that are there doing things for us, helping us along our path and our journey, and spinning us towards our inevitable end of evolution for a reason. And sometimes we get to know what that is, and sometimes we get some understanding, and then other times we don't.
So you're saying I should unclean?
No, I think saging and laying out your obsidian at the doorway, and I love all of that. My favorite is, I really, really do, Stephanie.
You're going to make fun of me now.
I'm not going to make fun of you.
It worked.
I'm not saying it didn't.
And I realized it was probably more I realized
Okay.
that it was more my energy clearing the house, and the stones around his doorway. Yes, I think they serve a purpose, but they were a symbol for him.
I got it for you. So another dynamic of why that not only worked, but what made you do that? What was the catalyst for you doing that? Lighting some incense and burning some sage and laying out some obsidian. What was the catalyst? Some negative energy, right? Something showed up that freaked the shit out of the boy.
I didn't say it was negative. I don't know that it was negative.
But something showed up. And this was your response and your reaction to it. So what if that thing that showed up specifically to get the vibration of the sage and the obsidian that it knew you would bring out?
Well, it could have did it to me instead of to him. There's my English.
But what if it knew that it needed it now? And the quickest way for it to get it now was to scare the boy.
Okay, that pisses me off.
Why? Because it's a part of you. And it recognizes that, fuck, I'm struggling right now. I really need a good saging. How do I get sage? How do I get some obsidian energy right next to me? I'm in this dimension and we don't have this shit here, but I know where I can go get it. I know how I can connect to it, and I really need it because I'm trying to vibrate higher and move towards the love that I know everything stems from. So I need that reminder. How do I get it the fastest? Well, I'm going to go spook this fucking boy up real quick because I know his mama bear is going to come downstairs and she's going to immediately light that motherfucking sage. And I need that. So what if that was the purpose of it, right? And if that's the case, then we would burn sage all day, every day.
I think I'm going to.
Please,
just to keep
energy,
them out.
come and get it from us, right? Because we're more than happy to oblige and help the energy of the universe.
But don't scare.
But it got a quick response.
It got a violent response. I was yelling at it. I got it out.
Yeah.
Wasn't yelling at it.
It got out as soon as you got as soon as it got its fill of sage, as soon as it hit that fucking sage, filled up its lungs, then it got out. That's a good thought. I had never thought of that.
Yeah, neither.
That maybe they show up for that reason, because they need some bounce.
Well, maybe I need just to light it more. It's like, I don't know. I wait too long in between, because there's not times, but like that one time.
But it's all bounce.
It was only one time. Set off the smoke detectors. Scared the dog.
I was going to tell you my favorite part about the thing with Asher not long ago was how then you just decided that we're going to
What did he do?
Set up the fan.
I needed this. He was stagnant.
I love it. Because his room's down in the basement of our house, and granted, there's not, air circulating through there on a continual basis 24/7. But I loved the little fan in the hallway. Blown away.
It was a fan. It was all the lights on. It was curtains open. It was clearing out the stagnant.
Yes, bringing in light and stirring up the stagnant.
It worked, okay?
It did work. The energy was very grateful.
Okay, so maybe I don't hide it as much from you as I thought I was.
You don't have to hide any of it from me.
I know.
We need to burn more sage. I like the smell of sage.
I'm going to burn it more.
We've got all of that shit in copious amounts in our... I was thinking about our sand the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have buckets of sand.
It's wonderful. Don't get rid of it.
I'm not getting rid of it. Do you see me getting rid of it?
Well, no, because you know that I'll be like...
I bring out plenty of shit that say we need to get rid of this. I don't bring out the sand and say we need to get rid of this.
I know you secretly do stuff. I find it in the garbage and you're like, yep, I did that.
Yeah.
You try and own it all proud. Like, if I just stand strong.
But we should do something with our sand.
We do stuff with the sand. Well, I do stuff with the sand.
We have buckets of it that we're not doing anything with.
We can't just go get more.
If you'd like to get some sand from us. If you would like some official Energy is Love podcast sand.
It was good sand.
It is
good
good sand.
Energy.
And it still does.
Exactly.
Yeah, we stole sand from the Pacific Ocean.
We didn't...
This is funny, though. This is how hippie and silly we are. So we went on vacation several years ago to California, and I specifically bought a large Rubbermaid bin that would fit underneath, because we have a minivan and we have the stow and go seats. So you can put stuff underneath them. And I bought this container specifically for storing underneath in that stow and go compartment, fully intending of filling it up with sand. And we did.
Seashells, yeah.
And we brought it home. And it worked great. And it's wonderful.
It's because you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, didn't you limit me to like one bucket once of rocks? You brought a bucket.
When was that?
Oh, I think that was the hot spring anniversary.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when we went out to the Delta Hot Spring. Yeah, fill this bucket up.
That's it. Because last time it was like my purse, your backpack, and then I took off my shirt and made a purse out of my shirt. I asked for those. I only brought the stones that wanted to come. How many stones did I put down that I knew weren't supposed to come?
You didn't bring a lot back from that trip. You didn't. And I don't care when you bring back stuff from trips. And this was the other thing I was going to tell you earlier when we were talking about crystals and stones, and I don't wear them anymore. And you asked me if I feel them. And
there's tons under our bed.
There are tons under our bed. When I travel, baby, I still look at all of them. And I look for the ones that need to come home, either for me or to you.
Yeah.
I still do that. Do you know what I mean? And so it's, there's no part of me, but we do have a cooler over there that we need to be able to use.
I've got a plan for that.
That's our first anniversary cooler full of rocks.
Fine.
That isn't.
You get mad when there's clutter around the house, so I'm going to put them around the house where I want it, and you're just going to have to do it.
Around the outside of the house.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The four corners.
It's going to go in the rooms.
Well, we can worry about that on the next episode of the Energy is Love podcast.
Is it over?
No.
Okay. I have one more, jumping back to.
Okay. I'm going to piss now.
You're going to. Do I get to sit here and, own it.
Yes, you get to extrapolate and pontificate by yourself.
We are going to take over the Energy of Love podcast and talk about the importance of paying attention to intuition and not just saying, hey, whatever will be, will be. So the difference going between how do you tell if it's intuition or fear? If we're receiving intuition, it's for a reason. So maybe instead of just letting your kids take off, if you're getting that intuition, if I listen to that advice, babe, our kids are never going to go anywhere. Okay, so I don't know. Intuition's for a reason, but how do you tell the difference? I guess we just have to trust that we listen when we need to listen. Because thankfully, all of our babies are healthy and happy, and so I guess we're listening at the right times. And so maybe just trust in when you need to listen, you will. There. I even did your sound bites.
Oh, did you?
I'm done. I'm done talking. I got everything I needed out now.
I'm back.
No, we're good. So we can end it.
You got everything out that you needed to get out?
Have a beautiful day.
Don't make fun of the host of the podcast.
Not at all. I would never.
So you did have a question for me about the intuition thing.
I think I just answered it. Yeah.
Okay.
You can go back and listen.
Well, did you have anything else? Any other questions?
No, I'm kind of afraid of your answers. Only ask questions that you want the answers to. If you don't want the answer, don't ask the question.
Well, they're rough questions, and they're,
Or rough answers.
It's a tough answer, but it comes from I have worked for those answers. Like my peace and confidence in my place in the world, I worked for it.
What are you?
I'm trying to fuck with my mic stand
again
for the 26th fucking time.
Well, it's okay because you can't hear it.
I know, right?
You can get your bracelet stuck again.
Shut up. I've worked for that. It's not something that I come across easily. It's not something that I just make peace with. It's not something that I just use to make me feel better about things or lie to myself about the sadness and reality of the shitty fucking world that we live in. I've worked for those in very, very real, practical ways. And that's just why it's so easy for me at the end of the day to just let go. Like, how often do you hear the asinine religious people? You're not asinine if you're religious people. Let go with God, let go and let God take it, or whatever the fun hashtag is. And that's the same thing. Like, it's just love, it's just the universe. And I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to control it. I don't need to understand it. I don't need to dissect it. I don't need to hold on to it to make it make sense. I can just let it go. My job, if I have a job as a human on this planet, my job is simply to be present in every moment as much as possible and to be a conduit for energy. And the way my meat sack does that is through emotions. So give me all of them so that I can feel them, process them, and then release them back out into the universe to spin the cosmic spin of fucking energy that we all stem and resonate from. That's my only job.
It's your only job.
Yeah. As a human being on this planet.
So you just let it go. It is what it is. Whatever happens, happens.
Yes.
Okay. Then why do you want to eat healthy?
Boom. Mic drop. This is when you kick the microphone stand over, and then in the distance we hear you walking away. Fuck you, asshole! Like you said, I told you that. Finish that. Where's your enlightened fucking answer for that? Well, let me give you my spiritual guru answer for that. Because the healthier my body is, the more present I can stay in every moment. The more centered my mind And the more balance that I have physically with my body allows me balance mentally, allows me balance emotionally, allows me balance spiritually. So if I can keep my physical body healthy by feeding it healthy things. See, I'm going to fuck with my mic stand one more time.
Just let it go. Let it go.
It's energy me, huh? Yeah, if I keep that's why I eat healthy, because I want my meat sack to like operate at a fucking high level. But
is it really up to you how it operates?
No, dear, it's not. I'm a fool.
You're not a fool. No, that's not. I'm just saying if there's things that we can do to keep it positive, to keep a good, healthy flow, then why not do it?
Exactly.
That was my point. I wasn't discrediting you.
I talked about this with Adam too. Like, yeah, I'll eat fucking healthy and we do all of these, spiritual enlightened practices. And then we sit out here, we're fucking smoking.
No.
Yeah. A lot. Yeah. We smoke way too much. Yeah. Right. And so why do we do that?
Because we're human.
Yes.
And sometimes humans are in need of vice. I don't know. It's a terrible thing. I don't like it.
It is just because we're human, dear.
Yeah.
Because there's balance in all things.
So we are so good that we have to smoke to like level the playing field.
Exactly. We are so enlightened and we vibrate at such a high level that in order to mingle among the commoners, we have to smoke to bring our vibration down. This was the other thing. We'll finish off with this stuff because I wanted to talk about. I thought it would be fun to do an episode where we just talk about lighthearted, fun things. And this wasn't that episode.
Oops.
Even though this was a fucking.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm really fucking happy we did this. It was a really good episode. But I was thinking it would be fun to share like the things that we enjoy in like pop culture or the shows that we watch or like just the silly, vices that we have. With stuff. Schitt's Creek specifically.
I was just going to say, can we mention Schitt's Creek? And if you are not watching that, you've got to go watch that.
No, because we are just like everybody else. We're incredibly human and we binge watch the shit out of some Netflix every now and then. But only good stuff.
Yeah.
Like
Schitt's Creek.
Like Schitt's Creek.
Is the best show ever.
Turn the podcast off at this point and go watch Schitt's Creek on Netflix. The first, is it 3 or 4 seasons?
It's 4 seasons. 3 seasons are the only ones on Netflix. You have to be crafty to get your hands on the 4th. But yes. You can do it.
But go watch it. It's incredible. That's the kind of stuff we like. What else do we like? We watch Westworld, even though, like, fuck that.
I'm kind of like, I'm having such a hard time with Westworld.
Because none of it makes sense.
It doesn't. I fall asleep every damn time. It's like, oh, cool. It's bedtime.
If we watch it at noon every day. We watch it during the day and we still manage to fall asleep. It is boring. It's very laborious.
It's just
because
repetitive and
well, I talked about it in the last episode that we watched where like, what the fuck's the point of it? I don't know what anything is going on. I don't know what's happening. Now we're in we're not in Westworld, we're in Eastworld or Eastern Asia world where we have samurai
but it's the same exact thing. And they even realize that it's the same thing.
So they point it out
of like,
we're living the same cycle.
We're just doing the same shit over and over again because we don't know what else to do.
But I don't understand the fucking point.
I don't know. And maybe if I didn't sleep through so much of it, I would, but it's really not. It puts me out.
It's not as good as the first season. The first season was really, really good. The second season has not been delivering. And granted, they've only got like 4 or 5 episodes out, I think.
Yeah, should not be engaging at this point.
No. Yeah, they should really, let's save the engagement and the good stuff until this season finale, which is very typical. Yeah. So we're hanging in there. We are going to hang in
Game
there with Westworld.
Game of Thrones now. That one.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty powerful.
I don't fall asleep during Game of Thrones.
It's pretty powerful. But we're on a super big hiatus.
I know.
I think it's next year. I think it's 2019.
Well, that's what Schitt's Creek is.
Get closer to the mic.
That's what Schitt's Creek is.
I know. Next year.
I don't.
You have to wait for the good stuff.
I don't want to wait. Like, you guys need to get on the ball and give us our Schitt's Creek.
and we walked away from The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
And we didn't even struggle with walking away from The Walking Dead.
I don't even know where we left off.
I don't
It just,
fucking care.
We just like swirled it and left. It was
so fucking terrible and boring. Like,
I know there's a lot of people that
I know.
still are really
if you're a fan of The Walking Dead, you should probably turn the podcast off now, because we are going to these are spoiler alerts.
Spoilers. Can you even remember the last one to know the spoiler? I can't.
Negan's
what?
dead.
Is he?
I don't know.
Yes.
That's the spoiler.
I don't even remember
We just
the
ruined
last one.
season 15 when they finally fucking kill him, even though they've had opportunity to kill him every single fucking moment. Like, literally, that was the most frustrating thing watching that. Oh, who's going to kill Negan? Oh, Rick's got to kill Negan. Oh, Rick has the opportunity to fucking kill Negan, but he can't kill Negan. Oh, everybody else in their fucking dog. The dog has the opportunity to kill Negan. Oh, but you can't kill Negan. Like, just fucking kill him already. It's not hard. Put a fucking bullet in his fucking head. How many times did they have the opportunity to literally do just that?
They didn't have any more story to write.
Just put a fucking bullet in his head.
Because otherwise it's just the...
I don't care anymore. I don't care about zombies eating people. Oh, Carl's dead.
Oh, it is a spoiler. I forgot.
Yeah, Carl got bit and he's going to die.
Okay, you know that the show is dragged on a little too long when the kid goes and you're just like, I don't even remember.
I don't even care. I don't care. But you better not kill fucking Michonne. And they didn't, I hope. I don't know.
You know, I think another reason they don't take Negan out is... Okay.
Pause for dramatic effect.
So he's like, the character is a horrible character and needs to go. But the actor...
That you can't remember his name.
I call him Denny. Okay, I binged the hell out of Grey's Anatomy with my child, and he was Denny, and you love Denny.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
He's Denny.
Good luck.
He's Denny.
Yeah, so you think that's why they don't kill him?
Well, women will revolt like you. Like, the men are like, hell no, Michonne must stay. And the women are like, what about Denny? You can't take Denny out. Fine, take Carl. Fine, keep Denny.
I say kill Rick. Kill that dumb motherfucker.
I'm kind of done with Rick.
Like, yeah, what's he doing?
He might be dead. I don't know. We don't watch it anymore.
He's just walking around.
Maybe he's dead.
He's the Walking Dead.
He is the Walking Dead.
Didn't they have that realization? I think that was like the big... Bum, bum, bum. We are the Walking Dead. Not the zombies. We are. Because we're all... I don't even fucking remember.
I don't want to talk about Walking Dead anymore.
Yeah, so don't watch The Walking Dead anymore. Or what was the other one that was the spin-off? Fear the Dead. Fear the Walking
like
Dead.
That, yeah.
We don't watch that shit anymore either. We're pretty...
Zombies
Roseanne.
are so yesterday. Oh, my God. Yes. The new Roseanne.
Yes. Like, this is where we live here locally in Utah. This wonderful place that we live. They play fucking Roseanne reruns from like 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock back to back on whatever fucking channel it is. I don't even know. And like, that's my vice. I just sit there and watch fucking old episodes of Roseanne that I've seen.
And wait for the new one.
Multiple times. But I watch every single one of them and I love this episode. This is my favorite episode. Like, literally, I'll be watching it and I'll have like connections where I remember very specific scenes. I remember what they're going to say. I remember how they say it. I remember all of these things. So it's like total nostalgia trip down memory lane watching old episodes of Roseanne. And then the new one is so good.
I love it.
You definitely have to be a fan, I suppose.
Yeah.
I could see people watching it. They're like, what the fuck is this? But it's so fucking fun.
You have to have the history.
Yeah. What I've loved spoiler alerts. If you could spoil a fucking 30-minute sitcom. But I love how they have had all the people come back on.
Yes.
So, Karen, is that her name? The friend?
Crystal.
And she was back on, right? Mm-hmm. She looks like shit. Bless her heart. I love you, Crystal, whoever actress person it is. But like the past
she's
15,
been
20
in
years.
The casino.
That's right.
Till she got her pension or whatever.
But she was on the black couple that was their friends, Ed and I don't remember her name. But they were on a recent episode. So they still bring on everybody.
Where's Booker? Where's Booker?
How awesome is it going to be? He's going to.
He's got to. Did you hear that, George?
It got renewed for a second season or a 21st fucking season or whatever the fuck it is. But it's coming back next year. New episodes of Roseanne. And yeah, I totally think at some point they're going to have Booker come back on.
So while we're talking about shows that we want to binge, can we, like, anybody that has it in with Netflix, can we get ER on Netflix, please?
Yeah.
I want to binge some ER.
Where did I watch it recently?
Did you watch ER?
It was on something somewhere.
You're
I think it
probably
might
in
be
another country.
I think it might be on Prime.
Is it? No, you have to buy it on Prime. I want Netflix. We're already paying for the subscription. I don't want to pay to watch a rerun. Just, we're paying you money, Netflix. Let's get it on Netflix.
Yeah. ER was good.
ER was good.
I watched it recently, though. It was somewhere that I was, and they did that's what it was. It was
you're probably in another country.
Yeah, it was I think I probably was in Canada. And it was like the Roseanne thing where it was just one of those fucking shitty cable channels that just did reruns.
Thank you, shitty cable channels.
Yeah, they did reruns of ER. But it sucked because I watched it, but it was the later years of ER, which was still a good show, and I still liked it, but it didn't have the original cast members, and I think Anthony Edwards was still hanging on. He hadn't died from cancer yet. Goose. God, man. That poor guy.
Great balls of fire.
The other thing that we have recently binged on.
What?
And are massively in love with.
I should remember it then.
You will remember it as soon as I say it.
Say it.
Cobra Kai.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It just makes you so happy.
Yes.
You just got a huge smile across your face.
I do, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very. They did a good job.
They did a really good job with it. Like, do you remember how happy I was watching it?
Yeah, I do. It was like, it's the level of him designing his own Batman bracelet.
Yes. I'm sitting there watching it, giddy as fuck, smiling, so happy inside, like a complete warm, centered of the universe love, like straight up energy is love watching Cobra Kai, because it was giving me absolutely everything that I wanted.
It was awesome.
It was so good and so silly.
Yes.
Right?
And of course I would, like, I'm sad that I didn't. What was that?
That was my frog in my throat.
Oh.
You're so sad that what?
Like, that you had to remind me.
Yeah.
Because it was that, like, how...
2 weeks ago. When we binged on it. Yeah.
It was like, what, 10 episodes?
Yeah, I think so. 10 episodes on YouTube Red.
Yeah.
So you do have to have YouTube Red, which I don't know if people know what that is.
I don't know. We just have it.
You don't know what that is, do you?
Well, we have it because of Google Play subscription.
Yeah.
So screw the Apple. Go to the Droid. Get the Google.
Get the Google.
You get the YouTube. And then you get the Cobra Kai.
Yes, but you have to have YouTube Red, which is a paid subscription to YouTube.
Wait, I thought that came with Google Play.
It does.
So you're not paying extra for YouTube.
It's included with the Google Play subscription. But normal people that don't have a Google Play subscription
are just insane.
Then they won't have the YouTube Red.
Okay. Somehow you get their YouTube Red, you get Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
And your life is forever.
If you join the cult, pay the $888 through the website, go to the Energy is Love podcast website, and you can click on the...
You don't have a link.
I do, down at the bottom. Donate. There's a donate button down at the bottom. Just send us the $888 to join the cult. You'll get a bracelet, and then we will give you our password so that you could log into YouTube Red and watch Cobra Kai.
Everybody already has. I feel like we can never watch. I'm surprised we can binge Netflix as much as we can.
We better not say that out loud.
No.
That we share our Netflix account with a ton of different people.
We just have 4, 5. We have TVs and phones and teenage kids everywhere. Like, I don't know how we shower every day, honestly.
We do, though.
We make that happen.
Don't put that out there. We shower every day.
It's amazing that we have time.
Mm-hmm. Anything else that we binge on recently? We just started Breaking Bad because we're out of boredom, but...
Well, we're waiting for Schitt's Creek and Cobra Kai.
Mm-hmm.
It's...
What else are we waiting for?
I don't know. Schitt's Creek, Cobra Kai.
Yeah, and Westworld. Not Westworld.
No, not Westworld.
The Dragons, Game of Thrones.
Oh, Game of Thrones, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, though? Like... I'm ready for Game of Thrones to come back, and I want to watch that. And it is good. But I think my all-time favorite...
is
Schitt's Creek.
What about West Wing? I thought you were going to say West Wing.
Oh, God, I loved... What's next? Well, it ended, and Bartlett said, what's next? Schitt's Creek. Yes, please. Okay.
But that's how, like, we're
I could watch
liberals.
West Wing again. Are we?
Yeah.
I don't have a label. I'm with the non-assholes.
I just labeled us
What
for
makes
liberals.
sense? I don't.
We definitely supported Hillary.
Did not support the other.
We didn't support anybody. We are unsupported.
We're
we don't
unsupporting.
We don't support politicians in any way, shape, or form. First off,
especially the one that's. Oh, I don't even know how to describe what the hell's happening with that.
With Trump?
Are you going to get mad at me? I don't think you'll get mad at me.
Why would I get mad at you?
I don't know, because I can't imagine any really Trump supporters liking this.
So let's think of it from a spiritual standpoint. This is my favorite thing that's happened.
Is it like the end of the world?
No. I love when...
oh, God, I love everything.
I love the crazy fucking retarded hippies that are like, we just need to send Trump some love. And if we all meditate together at 11:11 on 11:11, is that the phone call?
Yeah, it's the phone call.
You can take it.
Well, it's better than talking about Trump.
You're probably going to have to take your headphones off to do it.
Hello?
Hey, buddy. I love you. Are you having
So
fun?
she's talking to our son right now because they're staying at Grandma and Grandpa's. Baby, you're totally going to have to get up and walk away because we can totally hear Ashman in the mic.
Can you hear him?
Yeah.
Aww. He's so cute. Okay, I'll get up and walk away.
Yeah, real quick.
I love you. No, hold on. Keep telling me. What else did you do?
I don't know what I'm going to do with the second moment to talk about. I don't know. Hopefully you guys have benefited from listening to this super fun episode of the Energy is Love podcast. And just know that I really liked this episode. This has been one of my favorite episodes that I've done in a really, really long time. Granted, it's with my absolute favorite person. But we had this conversation earlier today, and we were in our kitchen talking, and I had the, I told earlier, I said it earlier on the podcast, it was just the realization of, this is why I don't have these deep spiritual practices in a practical sense anymore in the way that I used to, is because I'm not searching for those answers anymore. And that's okay. I don't know why I'm going to sit and ramble on about that anymore. I'll probably edit this part out, but I think that's, like I said, I think that's very important for people to hear. So if you're hearing that, I think it's important for you to hear. Find what fucking makes you happy, whatever that is. And if it's good and it's balanced and it doesn't hurt other people and it makes you happy at the end of the day, then that's what you should do. Plain and simple. For me, the podcast makes me happy, so I do the podcast. I enjoy the podcast. I like working with men and connecting men to emotion and to feelings and to deeper parts of themselves in hopes of finding balance. I really enjoy that, and that makes me happy. I like, I don't know. I like a bunch of other stuff. I'm waiting for the beautiful wife to come back on. Did you lose him?
Yeah. I'm going to try and call back. It's just
Well, that's okay.
he'll probably be calling right back. So.
Did you not wrap up the conversation?
We got cut off.
Yeah. You don't have to throw your headphones back on.
Are we done?
No, we're not done. We're not done.
We're not done.
We got 3 more hours.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick in between the phone call and.
Yeah, but when you take a break, I sit here and ramble nonsensical about nothing.
I'm excited to hear it.
It's terrible.
I
It's
bet
going to
it's
get
wonderful.
edited.
Oh no, let me hear it at least. If you edit it, that's fine. But you gotta at least let me hear what you were saying.
So you don't have your headphones on,
No,
which means you need to stay closer to the
I
microphone.
need to go to the bathroom. I can't.
Okay, go to the
I want to go
bathroom.
to the bathroom. If you.
I was going to take your phone with you. Go tweet something. Facebook while you're in the bathroom. Hashtag. I was thinking the other day, because I just recently was in Arizona setting up some tanks. If you listen to the podcast, I'm sure you're aware that I work for DreamPod. And I was in Arizona setting up some tanks. And I was watching, I just caught out of the corner of my eye, this woman walking through the parking lot. And she paused as she was walking to her car to take a selfie of herself. She took a picture of herself, throwing up the peace sign, right? As she was walking to her car. So she pauses, takes the selfie, poses for it, and then continues walking. And I was sitting there outside. Granted, I was outside smoking on a break. But I thought about how fucking asinine all of us are to walk around with these fucking phones and take these asinine, silly fucking pictures. And I'm guilty as fuck. I do it just as well as everybody else does. But it's so silly. I think it's so insanely crazy how quickly that has taken over our life and how it's just become so commonplace and so normal, and not just normal but accepted. I think it is crazy because I'm old, right? Kids today are going to be brought up with fucking, and they already are raised up with cell phones in their hands. So for them, it's not crazy or weird that people pause to take selfies because that's just what you do. But I think part of me has that nostalgic feeling of like, oh, that's so sad that we've evolved to this place, and it feels like a de-evolution. It feels like we're going backwards in some way, shape, or form because we're distancing ourselves from, like, that's a big thing where people talk about technology and how it distances ourselves from each other, and we no longer have the human connection and all these kind of different factors and things. And I think that's very much true. However, because everything has its place and everything is right where it's supposed to be, there's a reason why we're at this current state, and the dog is outside now. But there's very much a reason for it. And I think that we can't see what that reason is yet. And I think as time goes on, we'll see what that reason is, and it'll make total sense, because there's definitely going to come a point in history and time where we're going to laugh at how silly we were with our cell phones, because we're so, like, we don't have the tablet or the phone in our hand anymore. It's just all done within our own neurological makeup in our brain. I was going off on technology for a minute.
I just got attacked.
By what?
Like one of those mosquito eater big
Mosquito
things.
eaters?
I don't know what they're called. They look like mosquitoes on steroids, and they make a buzzing sound. And there's one in the bathroom.
Is it the little bathroom?
Yes, and it
got
went
me this
right by
morning.
the ear, and I don't know
It
what
scared
happened.
the shit out of me this morning.
See?
Like, literally. It dive bombed and buzzed me.
Oh
I was
god!
like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's bad.
And
And then it just like
I had
cracks
my
on the
phone,
wall.
and I was going to hit it with my phone. And then I'm like, oh, I better not, because I went and dropped my phone. And then I'm like, oh, wait, I'll just let it flutter around because it's beautiful energy. And then I forgot about it. I need to go kill it.
Yeah, it's on the wall waiting for its next victim. And I was on the phone at the time because that's when he called back. So I'm peeing. Hello. Ah!
You're a dork.
A lot of things happen. I'm busy. Got them all
All at the same time.
I know. Luckily, it didn't scare the shit out of me. So we're good. Edit that part.
I'm not editing any part of this podcast.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what else we should talk about. Do you know what I mean? I have so much fun talking to you.
I have fun talking to you, too.
It's so fucking nice.
I'm glad you like it because I like it so much.
Yeah. It's super fun. This has been a really, really fun one.
It has.
Yeah. We haven't had a fun one like this in a while.
Opposed to our last ones. They just sucked. You weren't fun talking to then.
No, but it's nice because you're super chill and relaxed.
Opposed to our last ones.
But it is fun.
It is fun.
Should we start a fire?
Yeah, maybe. What do you think? Yeah, it's nice.
It is
I don't
nice.
know. See, I'm torn between super nice, fire, fun, relaxing night, and
Bum what?
like we have an empty house.
Full of scary negative energy.
No, I did not say that. Saying like,
Yeah, we don't have any children.
how you doing?
You know what that means, kids. If the house is a rockin', don't come a knockin'.
That's why we sent them over the mountain.
But over the mountain. What's that song?
Over the
mountain, through the woods.
There's a river.
This house we go. I don't know.
Over the river and through the woods.
Yes.
I think we're combining. She'll be coming around the mountain and over the
She'll be
river through the
coming
woods.
around the mountain when she comes. We're
Yeah.
not drunk.
We're not.
No.
We're not
We haven't
anything.
drank in a very, very long time.
This is not an admission of guilt.
We're recovering alcoholics.
No, we're not.
Oh, you know what we
That's not
didn't
even
do?
funny.
You know
What?
You know what we didn't do?
What didn't we
At the
do?
beginning of every Energy's Love podcast.
Mental health.
Yes.
You already asked me. It's old news. Am I supposed to say the same shit?
What are you struggling with currently? Because it's always a continual bounce, right?
Self-identity.
Not mental health, but
I'm not giving more than that.
self-identity.
There you go.
Okay. That's like ongoing though. Excuse me.
You are full of the compliments, sir.
Well, that's what I struggle with every day. My self-identity. But I'm trying to think what I'm currently. Depression. Yeah. I've been struggling and battling against some depression pretty heavily, like pretty acute intensive in the last week or two. And then probably in a broader sense in the last month or so, but definitely some waves of depression, which brings up self-doubt and identity and answering big questions of what the fuck am I doing and why and all those different things. But I gotta trust it, right?
Yeah.
Send it up, put it out there, and believe that it's going to come back.
Comes back.
Yeah. I'm doing okay, though.
Good.
Yeah. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
I'm surviving, battling through it. It's hard. And we're going to end the podcast on a real note. That sucks. No. Yeah, that's what I've been struggling with when it comes to my mental bounce. There's definitely some depression. Some pretty intense. That's the thing that everybody always said, or everybody has been saying when I talk to them about it, is oh, well, I got some depression and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, that's a cop out, and I'm not using it as a cop out. I mean, the fact is, depression isn't a cop out. It's a real fucking thing that kicks you in the balls and knocks you down, and that's okay. It's totally okay, and I'm riding the wave of it now, but that's okay too. So, yeah, we should not end on that note. Thanks, Craig, for bringing up mental health.
What would Batman do?
What would Batman do? Batman would kick some ass, take some names.
Oh, you gotta say it a little better. What was... No. What was the...
Are you thinking of Bane?
No, I'm thinking there's the Galaxy Quest, not Galaxy Quest. Guardians of the Galaxy. What was it? Taking ass and kicking names.
That's the new Avengers, Infinity.
Oh, yeah.
It's not. Is it Infinity War?
It is Infinity War. It's Guardians of the... I'm
There's
sure
some more
everybody's seen that.
pop culture geek stuff that we like.
Yeah.
We're pretty big fans.
I'm pretty, that is my favorite line right now.
We just watched Black
Taking
Panther
acid.
too.
Yes.
We're a little behind on that one because Black Panther, I think, came out in February. I said that correctly. February. And we just watched it recently because it came into Redbox. And
The Red Box.
The Red
The
Box.
Google, the Red Box, the YouTube.
The YouTube Reds.
The YouTube Reds.
Everything's red. Redbox, Netflix.
Everybody's trying to get grounded.
What color is Netflix's Netflix?
Red.
It's red.
It's the color of yours.
But we just watched Black Panther. What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it?
Oh God. It was... I'm kind of torn. I loved the environment that they had, the self-sustaining, and I guess not really self-sustaining because they had all this technology from the whatever in the ground. I don't remember what it was.
The super secret mineral that came from outer
that
space.
Stuff. But I liked... I don't know. I think it makes me sound like an ass or maybe super introverted that, keep that shit in. Don't go with the outside world.
I don't
Screw
think
that.
We needed a really deep philosophical take on
You
Black
asked me what I
Panther.
liked and what I didn't.
I liked the cool shit. The fucking suits were really neat.
It was cool. He was badass. I loved his sister. I loved her sass. Cool. She was phenomenal.
Not just his sister,
I
but
loved
all
her.
the
women were
all the
kick-ass.
strong women that were.
Okay, so that's what I liked.
Yeah, that
the
was super
women's
cool.
role were like, even though the Black Panther, the guy was the star of the show, like, he needed those women are the ones that held it.
It saved
and
his
made it
ass
go.
multiple times.
Multiple times. I mean, yeah, he'd stand in front of one. What was the
Yeah.
thing? Did he freeze? Like, he couldn't even talk. He would freeze in front of the.
Oh yeah, the chick that he liked.
And so
That
everybody.
was a much more empowering woman film,
It was
like
awesome.
than Wonder Woman was.
It was,
Fuck
and I like,
Wonder Woman.
as every other guy in this planet said, yeah, fuck Wonder Woman, hell yeah.
No, but
Chilled
like
up.
Wonder Woman was okay,
Yeah.
kinda, not really that great of a movie, but I don't think it was really all that empowering for women. And granted, I'm not a woman, so I can't say if it empowered women or not.
Spoiler alert.
Stay tuned. But I think the Black Panther definitely,
It did.
yeah.
I loved it. I loved that. And again, I go back to, like, if shit's working, let it work.
That's a fucking mantra right there. Put that on your sticky note and put it on your mirror. If shit's working, let it work. Really. You
Yeah.
just summed it all up right there, baby.
Yeah.
That's the title of the new book that you're going to write.
I think I'm going to do my own podcast.
If
You're going
shit's
to have
working,
the energy is love, and I'm going to have the if shit's working, let it work.
let it work. That's a good podcast name.
Hashtag trademarked. Done.
Yeah.
I don't
Like,
no,
you know
I'm
how
just
there's
kidding.
like good band names?
Yeah.
Like, it's not that anymore. It's like, oh, that's a good name for a podcast.
Oh, I just was watching one of the karaoke car with James Gordon
Yes.
with Asher and
Who was the superstar?
Adam Levine.
I watched that one too.
Did you? It was funny though about the his like first band name that didn't work.
Yeah.
They're like, we have to have a crappy name, so.
Did you like that episode though?
I couldn't even finish it all though. For
It
one,
was so
I'm not
stupid.
I'm not the Adam Levine fan that I used to be.
Mhm.
Like,
Do
I
you want
used
to tell
to
people
be.
why?
Because he's an asshole.
No,
And
tell
how do
people
you-
why.
No, he's not an asshole. He played a good asshole on a show, and now I don't like him anymore because he's an asshole.
Yeah, tell them the movie.
I don't remember what it was called.
Now and Again?
No, it's not Now and Again.
Begin
it's the one with
Again?
Kira.
I think it's Begin Again.
Is it Begin Again?
It's Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah. And hello, I love Kira. She's incredible. And anybody who
She's joining the cult.
like, even in a movie, you must be true to her, or
Yeah.
you are no longer in
Yeah.
my plane of existence.
Now and Then.
It's not Now and Then.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Like, are you seriously taking this long?
Shut up. You're so mean to me. Hold
Just
on.
okay, Google it.
I don't want to okay, because then everybody else. God damn it, you made it go.
Movie with Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo.
I'm gonna find it. Begin Again. Haha, I won.
Damn it.
Haha.
Movies with Keira Knightley and Mark Ruffalo include Begin Again.
Bam!
5 years later.
Thanks, Google.
So Begin Again. Keira Knightley is just beautiful in every way. I love her. I love her face. I love her attitude, and I love her voice. And she can sing. And
Yeah.
I listen to her music still. And even when her and Adam on the soundtrack have the same song, I think it's Lost Stars, or I can't listen to Adam's versions
know.
because he screwed up big time.
Do you know what?
He's dead to me.
I like his version of it.
Of course you do, man.
No, but do you know
I'm gonna go
why?
watch some Black Panther on you. Get
It
these
makes
women
me
going.
feel. Like, it makes me feel. That's why I like
Well,
it so
it
much.
makes me feel too. And I liked the fact that she picked herself up and took off and didn't need him, as to where when he started making it, what did he do?
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good movie. And he does play a jerk in it.
He does play.
But that
jerk.
doesn't mean we have to hate Adam Levine.
It does.
Anyways, his carpool karaoke sucked.
Well, Asher couldn't even watch it. Asher loves them, and he was like, I'm bored.
I
and
haven't
couldn't
seen
watch
one
them.
in a long time that's been good.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I think the last one,
What's going on, James? Well, he was pretty involved in the royal wedding, so
the
maybe
last
that's
one
where
that I
he got
really
it.
liked was Adele's. And that was a long time
What
ago.
about Kelly Clarkson?
Um,
Oh, don't you hate on the Kelly?
I'm not hating on the Kelly. It wasn't the best carpool karaoke.
It had Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
Kelly is...
He beat that horse, man.
He beat that horse?
He beat that horse dead.
Yeah.
So
There was one. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. I loved it. It was with Sam.
yes.
Sam.
Yes,
Who was
Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
That one was super
That
good.
was way good.
He was the ones that I like, just like anything else in life, right? Just like episodes of the podcast or fucking movies that you like, or
I don't know what you're talking about. I love every episode of this podcast.
not just this podcast, but
Well,
all
this is
podcasts.
number one podcast.
The carpool karaoke's I like are the ones where the guest star or the famous fucking singer sitting in the passenger seat are real.
Kelly's real.
I'm not saying she wasn't.
Don't hate on the Kelly.
I'm not saying she wasn't, but like Adele or Sam
Yes.
Smith or like those people showed up and they were real, and those are the good ones.
Those are the good
Like
ones.
the one, what was the Katy Perry? Did
I
you
didn't
watch
see that one.
It's terrible.
Is that?
Yeah, and I like Katy,
Yeah. Katie's
but she
good.
was fake as fuck.
I'm kind of over the Katie. Sorry. You're a
it's okay.
firework.
Well, she can't join the cult.
Well, we've already got it tied up with Kelly and Kira, and they kind of rule. So.
Oh, I was going to think of the other movie that we saw recently. Do you remember?
Yeah,
No, you don't.
I don't.
There were 2 movies that we saw
2
recently.
movies.
No. Tully.
Okay.
Is that the name of it?
Yes.
Yeah. Give us your take on Tully. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
I don't know if we should spoil this
No,
one.
that
though.
one's too pretty new. It's still in theaters.
Yeah.
Let's not do that.
We won't spoiler alert that one, but did you like that movie?
I did like that movie. It wasn't what I was expecting. It surprised me. It had a turn, but I'm glad it didn't
It had an M. Night
Turn.
Shyamalan.
too hard.
It totally had an M. Night Shyamalan.
It did have an Shama. I can't say it.
Shyamalan.
Shama.
That's totally not how you pronounce his name.
Well, then why am I trying to copy it?
That's okay. But it was pretty good.
It was good. It was good. It wasn't what I expected, but it was still good. Even though, like, you know, when you go in expecting a certain thing and if it doesn't meet that expectation, it's kind of not a good movie.
hmm
It wasn't what I was expecting, but it was a good movie.
I think Charlize should get an Academy Award for that movie. She was wonderful in it. And
She was wonderful.
like everything was great and everything like that with her role and her portrayal and her acting ability in the movie. But I think the Academy Award should go to her, and it should be an award for look at Atomic Blonde and then look at Tully, and then bam, this woman gets an Academy Award. Like that should be what she gets the Academy Award for.
She has a very
She was
broad
great
palette.
in both of those movies. Atomic, isn't that what? Is that
Yeah, that is. But I'm thinking more like Italian Job, kicking ass.
Baby, she did not kick any more ass than she has ever kicked before than in Atomic Blonde.
So Atomic Blonde, like, it looked like she really, like, those fight scenes,
yeah,
they weren't doing that bam, bam, bam. It was like, oh shit, I need it. It
She
looked
got her
real.
ass
She
kicked.
looked, I mean,
yeah. Undoubtedly, some of the bruises were real bruises.
oh, undoubtedly. Like, I don't think what did they do? The ice bath at the beginning? I don't think, like, that was a part of the script. I think she was like, I just need a minute,
Yeah.
and got in. They're like, oh, let's go with this.
Yeah, if you want to put this on camera, that's fine, but I'm getting in the ice bath. So that's why I think she should get the Academy Award. Hold those 2 films up and say, look what this woman did. She made this
She's
movie,
incredible.
and then she made this movie.
Can she join our cult too? Because I love her too.
She's going to lead a subsect of the cult.
I could follow the Charlize.
The other one,
The other one.
the one with Natalie Portman, The Shimmer.
Was it called The Shimmer?
It wasn't called The Shimmer. I saw a thing for it recently because we had that conversation. We couldn't remember what the name of that fucking movie was.
Uh-huh. It should have been called The Shimmer.
It should have been called The Shimmer. And I can't remember what the name of the movie is now either. But I thought of you when I saw it. And I'm like, oh, that's the name of that movie. What did you think of that movie, though?
Again, not what I expect. I don't know.
That movie was weird.
It was so weird. It threw me. And like, I'm still not.
We can spoiler alert it.
Like, I'm not sure who was who.
It's not like we
And,
could
like,
could spoiler alert it because we have no fucking idea what the fuck happened.
Like,
Do you have any idea what the hell happened?
yes, they said that it was like altering things, but it looked like, and how you would say like the energy, we were all the same.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everything came except for the bear. Fuck the bear. And I love bears. Don't, it's dark out here. Do not. Like, Not okay.
Yeah, that bear.
Oh my God, now I'm freaking fucking dog's right behind me. Oh my God.
The bear was freaky.
Angel, go lay down. She was bad timing to be right there.
Like, there's a really easy way to describe that movie. Like, a meteor from another planet hits our planet, and then the organisms or organism that came from the other planet on the meteor started to grow and evolve and take over.
But they were saying that, like, yeah, the takeover, but they were trying to say it was just changing. It was altering. It wasn't trying to take over. It was just adapting and altering.
All it was doing was living.
It was living.
That was it.
And it was
That's
mingling.
just the way that it lived.
So things would co-create with each other. And I don't mean
Alter
like in
DNA.
there you go. Alter DNA. Like the chick, it was cool. Like growing vines out of her. And all of a sudden she's flowers and then she's a tree. I thought that was kind of cool. Like, you could be a tree. Better than being the crazy skeleton soul-eating bear.
Yeah. So that one was pretty good.
It was weird.
We'll rate that one 5 stars
No.
out of 10.
No.
3 stars, 2 thumbs up.
I think the only reason you liked it is because
Well,
it's got Natalie Portman in it. And it's
Just like
I don't
Matt-
care what happens. Natalie Portman's
just
in it.
like Matt Damon, she has not made a bad movie.
Let me think. Okay, Matt Damon has made a bad movie.
know.
You can't say that anymore.
What was the name of that one?
Downsizing.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That
Okay.
was so good.
Okay.
It's
We love
hopefully
Matt Damon, but no.
hopefully it's like one of the cult classics that people watch one day
I
and
think
just make fun of.
that one was he lost a bet, and he is a man to his word.
He had
He's
to
like,
have been
"God
doing
damn
somebody a
it."
favor.
Yeah. It was a favor or it was a lost bet on a drunken oops.
Yeah.
Like, shit. That was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was really, really bad.
So
It
good
made
for
no
him.
sense.
Good for him for doing that.
Would you get downsized though?
Would I get downsized?
Yeah. No?
I don't know. I mean, what did it promise you? Like, it was wealth. It was the thing.
Yeah.
If you
it was all
have
material
$100,000, you're like 100 millionaire. That's totally the verbiage for
100
it.
millionaire.
100 millionaire. It was all about wealth. So it was all about greed. I'll make myself small out of greed.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with that. But I really like the first colony, whatever, when they're just on the beach. But then they all went in the it was just weird. It's not a work. Don't waste your day. Wait till for it to come out free. Don't. I'm sorry, Matt. It was a bad movie. You know it was a bad movie.
I'm sure he does know it was a bad movie. Maybe he made that movie so then Ben doesn't feel as bad. But the recent movie that Ben made,
What? Did I watch it?
In the heat of the night,
I don't think I watched that.
he played like the old, it was back in like the Prohibition era where he was running liquor.
I didn't see that.
I don't remember the name of that one. It wasn't bad though.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Okay.
The last good Ben Affleck movie was The Town though.
The Town.
Mhm.
What was that one?
The Bank Robbers.
Oh, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's a good movie.
I got the point. I can't think. I've been sitting here trying to think of all the Natalie Portman movies. And yeah, I don't think there's a bad one.
There's not.
She's pretty. Except for The Shimmer. But she was phenomenal in The Shimmer. She did good.
And it wasn't a bad movie.
No, it wasn't
They
bad.
just didn't do a good job explaining it. Like, it kind of fell to that place where science fiction movies fall sometimes, where they almost take themselves too seriously and think that The Arrival, for example,
Okay.
this is a good dichotomy. I don't think that's the appropriate word
I'm
or
sorry.
the
It
appropriate
goes right
use of
with
that word. But
100 Millionaire.
The Arrival did a wonderful
It
job
was a
of
good show.
taking shit that didn't make any sense, and then by the end of it, you were left with sense, where things made sense, where you kind of understood everything, but it still left a little bit, but it wrapped up loose ends and it made sense, and you kind of got the
Amy
big picture.
Adams did a great job.
She did do a great job. She's another person that is nothing but gold. And
I'm sensing a trend here. Can we have some men join this cult over here?
Matt is at the top of the list.
No, not after downsizing. He's not.
Christian
He got
Bell.
downsized.
He got downsized.
Christian Bell. Okay.
Um,
Just because of
Batman.
Dark Knight. I was going to say Dark Knight.
Batman.
I can't say Dark Knight.
Yeah, you can say Dark Knight. It's definitely, but...
Well, I definitely prefer Christian Bale's Batman over Ben Affleck's.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, oops.
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Oh, yeah. I'm Batman. Hey, I'm Batman. Yeah, he's terrible. I think we're going to sit and ramble, babe, if we sit and fucking talk about movies all day.
You don't want to talk about movies?
I do.
Well, as soon as I say we got to get some guys in the cult, then you're like, podcast over.
Yeah, we've had enough of this conversation.
Hold on. We're going to get a good guy podcast. Or not. Shit, I'm sorry.
I think we have some good guy podcasts.
Oops. You gave Charlize Theron her own subsection, so hold on. I didn't disagree, but hold on. There's some really good. Why am I struggling?
Male actors.
Yeah, to find one that I want to be a part of our cult.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, women are better actors than men.
I don't need to explain that anymore. You said it perfectly there. And I don't need to
think about how.
I don't need to think about it. Women have been acting for years.
Yes.
Women are definitely much
think
better
about
actors.
the diversity, even though, well, because a lot of times there's that thing in Hollywood where women think that there aren't good roles for women, right? They're always like stuck in the same roles, and they very much are. But the same
Not
thing.
Charlize Theron.
But the same thing applies to men. Like, men typically play the same fucking role over and over and over and over and over.
And even
again.
if it's a different role, it's the same character.
And they don't play it well.
Liam Neeson, whatever.
Yeah. He's
awesome.
no matter where you go.
Like, that's all I
No
hear
matter
is
what you
Taken.
do.
And how many Takens are there now?
There's 15.
It's enough.
They got took.
No, but like, we can't sit here and describe. I want what guy?
What male actors joining our cult? I don't think any of them.
Hold on.
First off, I don't think anybody's joining the cult.
They are. These the love I've given to the Kara and the Kelly and the Charlize and
Let's go closer.
It's pretty. Sorry. Shit. I can't think of any.
Okay, what's wrong with Matt? Why isn't he enough?
He downsized. He's not enough.
But he's Jason Bourne.
Okay, Jason Bourne can come.
He's Good Will Hunting.
I was gonna say I'm not.
How do you like them apples?
Those apples. Yes, Matt Damon is an incredible actor, and fine, he can come. He can live in his little downsized box.
Okay.
So let's find a big one now.
Tom Hanks.
Okay, Tom Hanks can come.
I mean, has Tom Hanks made bad movies? No, wait, because this is more appropriate. It's the same thing with Matt Damon. Has Matt Damon been in bad movies? Yes.
He did a good job. He owned that character.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks has been in bad movies.
But he owned that character.
However, Tom Hanks is gold in every movie that he makes.
So Tom Hanks is one. Now let's do a little more appealing.
I follow Tom.
Because all these women are like.
I follow Tom Hanks on Instagram.
Do you?
Yeah, and he doesn't post a lot. You know, he's not very active on the social. But every now, but what he posts is gold.
Elon Musk.
Oh my
Can we have Elon Musk?
Yeah, but he's not an actor.
I don't care. It's Elon Musk. Please join our cult, Elon Musk.
Yeah.
You can bring your flamethrower. I can't say flamethrowers.
Flamethrowers.
You can bring your flamethrower.
I read this article the other day, and by read this article, I mean I scrolled through Facebook and saw the title to this article and then didn't read it. But they were commenting on how some study was done, and people that do a bunch of different shit, or people that have like a bunch of irons in the fire, or people that like, what other way could I describe? Basically, people that are multi-diverse in what they do, and they typically are like smarter or something. I didn't read the article, so I didn't do a good job explaining it. But
are you mentioning that because you have like your hand in
very,
50 different pots?
Yes.
Do you know what else?
That I'm very comparable to Elon Musk, basically, is why I brought that up.
Well, that's why I love you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Also, people that are messy, are disorganized, and use foul language are geniuses. So, like, yes. I'm right up there too.
Yes.
That's why we match so perfect.
You're not that messy.
Like, as far as like my organizing skills, I know where things are, and when you clean it, you screw everything up. Then I can't find
skills.
I do. When I need it, something, it's there until you move it.
You don't have organizing skills.
You
I'm
move
sorry.
it.
You don't.
I do until you move
It's
it.
not a strong suit.
It's fine until
Don't put
you
it
screw
on your
with
resume.
it. It works fine until you screw with it. Just don't touch my system. And it's fine.
Do not disturb the pile of garbage that is located. It's not a pile of garbage. It's all very important. I mean, you do need the receipt from 15 years
Shut.
ago. I love you. My feet are getting cold.
Oh, okay.
We should go inside or light a fire or something, but
Okay.
I love you.
I love you. Thank you.
Thank
This
you
was
so
so much
much.
fun.
Good episode, right?
Yes. I think. I don't know. We'll see tomorrow.
Yeah. It's not going to go out tomorrow, though.
I know. Stay tuned.
Everybody,
Are you going to do it?
no.
Are you going to say podcast is over? Click.
No. I want feedback. Right? We're starting to get a little bit of feedback. I mean, we've always had a little bit of feedback from the podcast. Every now and then we get some feedback from the podcast, but we love feedback. So please shoot us an email, message us, follow us on Facebook, do something, and then tell me what you're doing. No, but we want some feedback, want some answers. The biggest thing, like, I would love to hear what you struggle with mental balance, and in that space of, you know, your day-to-day struggle of your own mental health and what works for you and what doesn't work for you and what you're facing and what you're dealing with. And shoot me an email. And if you're comfortable with it and you want me to share it on the podcast, I will happily share it on the podcast as a way to bring awareness once again to how normal it is to struggle with your own mental health. So that's your challenge, listeners. If you struggle with mental health issues, which we all fucking do, then email me about it and I'll read it on the podcast if you're cool with it. Sound good?
Sounds great.
We got to run because the Raptors are coming.
Okay.
At the core of it, it's like you and I are just a part of one another that is continually spinning together in the universe. And it always has been and it always will be.
It was intuition. It was intuition. If shit's working, let it work.
Give me some lapis and some labradorite and I'm a happy camper.
Is this a grateful moment?
Find what fucking makes you happy, whatever that is. And if it's good and it's balanced and it doesn't hurt other people and it makes you happy at the end of the day, then that's what you should do. Plain and simple.